My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events and every NXT takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands and by
Dan White.
And today it's the WNR155 Part 2. And it's WCW Spring Stampede 1998. But before we get on anything, we'll start with the alternate intro. And this one is going to be great because me and Dan are going to do this. And we've been doing like kids shows and shows from the past, so to speak. And this is a brilliant one. Dan, do you want to start us off with this, and then I'll pick up where you left off?
Now, this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, in West Philadelphia, born and raised on a playground is where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of school.
When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighbourhood. I got in one little fight, my mum got scared, she said, "You're moving to your auntie and uncle in Bel Air."
I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh and it had dice in the mirror. And anything I could say this cab was red, but I thought, nah, forget it. Yo-ho to Bel Air.
I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8 and I yelled to the cabbie, "You're home, smell you later." Looked to my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel Air.
And that, of course, was Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And now the proper intro. In 1998, WWE and WCW were locked in a ratings war. Their shows, Raw and Nitro, went head-to-head on Mondays. The WNR podcast go back 20 years, right in the middle of battle.
We followed the war since the inception of Nitro, but now with the Attitude Era getting going and WCW at its peak, it's a perfect time to follow it month to month.
This is WWE versus WCW for April 1998, and yes, this is WNR155 Part 2, and we're going to watch WCW Spring Stampede 1998.
There is no power struggle. There is no hostile takeover. Simply because Macho Man never was part of the plan, brother. I'm going to predict the future for you. I am going to beat Sting for the World Heavyweight Championship belt. I am going to control the NWO. And then Hollywood Hogan is going to know what it feels like to be at the bottom of the pecking order, you dig it? You want some Hollywood? Well, come on down, brother. Take heed to what Macho Man said. You don't have to worry about me, because I'll shoot you right between the eyes. All I got to say, big man, you cover my back and I'll cover yours. In Hollywood, if you keep doing what you're doing, there's a real good chance I grab that bat. I beat the hell out of all three of you.
And it was held on the 19th of April, of course, from WCW.
It was held in Denver, Colorado at the Denver Coliseum.
Yep, and it was 7,428 in attendance, and of course we are live here And we get started with a promo video showing all the NWO problems. You know, Nash, Hogan, Macho, everything we've been seeing on Nitro. There's no mention of the World Heavyweight Champion Sting. There's no mention of Rowdy Roddy Piper. There's no mention of the Giants. So anybody tuning into this right now would have no idea. Would probably think it's a triple threat match between Nash, Hogan and Macho. And that's just one of the list of problems. But we're going to try to look at the positives here today, and the commentators welcome us because we get fireworks, which is great as we start for pay-per-view. And they tell us that Macho Man's cast is off, and the night event between him and Sting will be a no disqualification match. So I mean, that's interesting. I mean, and the card itself should we just run through the card? And this is what we got to expect tonight.
The first match is Bill Goldberg versus Saturn with Kidman in his corner.
Yeah, we've got Chavo Guerrero with Eddie Guerrero versus Ultimo Dragon.
We've got the WCW World Television title match, Booker T versus Chris Benoit.
Yeah, we've got Kurt Hennig with Rick Rude versus the British Bulldog with Jim Neidhart.
Cruiserweight title match, Chris Jericho versus Prince Iaukea.
And a tag team match, Lex Luger and Rick Steiner with Ted DiBiase versus the NWO, which is Buff Bagwell and Scott Steiner.
We've got La Parka versus Psychosis.
And then don't forget the baseball bat and a pole tag team match, Roddy Piper and the Giant versus Hollywood Hogan and Kevin Nash.
We've got the United States heavyweight title Ravens rules match, and that's DDP versus Raven.
And then in the main event, no disqualification, Sting versus Randy Savage. So, you know, the card looks quite good, doesn't it, on paper? So we'll see if it really delivers in ring now. As we start with our first match, looks like Saturn's coming out here with Billy Kidman as part of the flock. And what does help, because we've seen all the build-up to it, the pay-per-view matters a little bit more now, doesn't it? You know, we're not going in blind, so to speak.
Well, it does indeed. After a few of Goldberg's matches, we've seen Saturn coming down only to get pulled back by the rest of the flock. And we've seen Goldberg running through the members of the flock that go to assist Perry Saturn, or to hold Saturn back.
Exactly. So tonight, we're going to see if Saturn can back it up in the ring by going against Goldberg, see if he can stop a man who's at this moment in time 73 and and like I said, Goldberg's been a kind of shining light on Nitro recent weeks, hasn't he, you know? I mean, what he did last week with the, I still remember the gorilla press into the spear, so feat's quite impressive. The crowd seems to be behind him. Talk about how to build up a wrestler.
Indeed. Well, we touched on this last time we were talking about Nitro. I think it's the perfect way. You know, he's running through the undercard, he's going to run through the mid-card soon, and then he'll run through the upper card and eventually reach the top of the WCW pyramid.
Exactly. It's just the right way to book him as he comes out here. Looks in great shape. As the fireworks go off behind him, gets a huge pop. Mike Tenay tells us that it's going to be a huge couple of days for Goldberg, because not only going in against Saturn tonight, but tomorrow on Nitro he gets a United States Championship opportunity. So we talk about working his way up. Could be US champion tomorrow if the streak, of course, is still intact. I mean, to go against Saturn, who has been featured really heavily on Nitro. I mean, he's had a match near enough every week, hasn't he, you know?
He has, yes, and he's been there or thereabouts. I don't know why he's trying to target Goldberg, who just done a very impressive, it's kind of like a suplex with an underhook. Yeah,
it looked like a pump handle, didn't it? Saturn was trying to get Goldberg down, and Goldberg throws Saturn over the top. I think you've got to credit Saturn, because he's not scared of Goldberg, as this might be over already. Goldberg got the leg lock, but Kidman pulls Saturn to the bottom rope.
Yeah, Goldberg clearly doesn't like that, so he drags Kidman into the ring. Gorilla presses him and then throws him onto Saturn.
And Goldberg doesn't care about the size. And what a great way to start a pay-per-view, Bill Goldberg out here.
That is indeed, and he actually looks quite an impressive wrestler. I mean, if he'd have built on this going through, he could have actually had some serious talent.
The thing is that you try and build on the strengths and hide the weaknesses, you know. And in WCW, or even in WWE, Goldberg, it wasn't having 20, 30-minute matches. It was always being explosive and, you know, getting the job done.
I know that, but some of his variations of suplexes, they could have gone with that, and we could have seen an early Suplex City-style Brock Lesnar wrestler.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? And like I say, if they'd have kept it with that, but instead they wanted to try other things that didn't really work, you don't really want to see Goldberg selling to the top, you know. As Saturn hits a leg drop. Well, first off, he took Goldberg down, chopping off the legs, then off the top with a leg drop. But Goldberg's not been fazed by it at all.
No, Saturn's got him in the corner, kicking away at Goldberg, but I think that's just pissing him off more than anything.
Yeah.
He gets Irish whipped into the corner. Saturn follows up with a big back elbow.
And Saturn, Goldberg just shaking it off at this moment in time. But Saturn, and a big success, kicked to the midsection, trying to suplex Goldberg. Oh!
But Goldberg, with yet another variation of a suplex, just throws Saturn across the ring.
That must be about 5 or 6 different variations of this match. And now he's got Saturn up, gorilla press.
Into a slam, plants him straight on the mat.
I prefer more the gorilla into the power slam, but I'll take that, you know. And Kidman, again, back on the apron. Hasn't he learnt his lesson yet?
He wants to go flying again.
Yeah.
Next time Goldberg throws him, might be halfway into the crowd.
Oh, but Saturn hangs Goldberg up on the top rope. And you got to credit Saturn, you know, he's shown toughness in this. He's not backed down from Goldberg.
Saturn helos over the top rope with a splash.
And now
again, Goldberg recovering fairly quickly.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, Goldberg? But he gets suplexed.
There's a bit of a fisherman suplex there by Saturn.
It's nice, isn't it?
Super kick.
Saturn now has got to keep on Goldberg. We haven't seen this. Anybody, like I say, suplex, super kick, Goldberg gets like critty. But he just got to keep going with him. Gets
knee
knee
to the back, sends Goldberg to the outside. And he drop kicks him into the steel stairs.
Yeah, that was nice by Saturn. He's got to take a bit of risk. He knows that.
He's got Goldberg's arm trapped behind the stairs and just pushes it to the ring post.
Well, the thing is, if you injure the arm, it's going to be difficult not only with a spear, but trying to get him up with a jackhammer. And Saturn's probably been scouting Goldberg.
Oh, Hurricane runners him down.
Very good by Saturn. Throws Goldberg into the ring post. Like I say, Goldberg's recovering quickly, but with all these constant shots, he's getting peppered by it, isn't he, you know? Fucking hell, he fucked that up, didn't he?
He did indeed, yeah.
I think
Saturn with a springboard, looking for probably a shooting star press, but doesn't even rotate and just lands on the mat. Goldberg lands on top of him.
Well, the problem with trying to hit an Ashley moonsault was the guy that actually created that is the Ultimate Dragon backstage going, yeah, you fucked my move up, mate. But nevertheless, Saturn throws Goldberg back in.
Catch him with a spinning heel kick, goes for the cover, but only gets a 1.
And now Saturn's got the arm of Goldberg.
Loud enough for you, bitches.
And now Saturn's got the arm, just trying to wear down Goldberg. Goldberg in a little bit of trouble here.
I think he wants to carry on with his earlier game and just keep peppering him with shots. As again, probably about the 20th variation of a suplex we've seen in this match, as Saturn goes in for a cross arm breaker.
That might be a little bit of a mistake. That might be a bit of a mistake by Saturn because he's away from Goldberg a little bit, but recovers, gets up, drop toe holds Goldberg down our front face lock.
I think this is Goldberg's second longest match we've seen him in.
Mm-hmm. And he's been in a bit of trouble here, but he managed to power Saturn up, take him in the corner, couple of shoulder thrusts.
Oh, restricts him to the opposite corner, but Saturn gets his feet up. Oh, but a sidewalk slam from Goldberg.
And now Goldberg's finally got a little bit of separation, trying to get his bearings. But Saturn's still on Goldberg, Irish whip. Oh.
There's a bit of a delayed Irish whip there from Goldberg. I don't know if he decided not to run.
Well, he's looked a bit impressive, but you got to remember he's still very green, you know. He's not even been wrestling a year yet.
He's Greenberg.
He is Greenberg at this moment in time, and Saturn's going to be one of these guys who gets him through the match, you know.
So not even been wrestling a year, but he's 73-0.
Yeah, 73-0. It's been impressive.
So he must wrestle, well, twice a week, I suppose, yeah. Goldberg catches Saturn with a super kick of his own.
And then he stares at the crowd, says, all right, enough fucking around. Let's take this time with Saturn.
Short arm clothesline takes him down.
Uh-oh.
Poised to hit Saturn with a spear.
His feet!
Oh, and then straight back to the mat.
And Goldberg screams after hitting the spear. And this could be the end. The fans, I think, know it. I feel I know it. Dan, what's going to happen?
Oh, wow. He looked to set him up for the jackhammer, but Saturn's gone for a low blow while Billy Kidman was distracting the referee.
Oh, my God. Saturn's up after a spear. That's impressive.
Very impressive.
Puts him on the top turnbuckle now.
It's the first time the jackhammer's ever been blocked.
Well, certainly a way to block it, like, you know what I mean? It does work, especially with Raven out there. And Saturn, oh, my God.
Goldberg slams Saturn as he was stood up on the second rope. Kidman's in the ring.
Well, no, the rest. Yeah, here comes Riggs. There was Sick Boy, and Kidman's in as well. Oh!
And Kidman gets hit with a spear.
And Goldberg now just ramming Kidman's head into the mat. Oh. But gets distracted by Saturn. And Saturn, well, might try the rings of Saturn here.
Well, he's got him locked in. Will Goldberg tap?
This might be Goldberg's first loss.
Oh, he looks to be powering out of it, though. No, Saturn just readjusting.
Well, Saturn's got to try and sit on top. Oh, my God, you're right. Goldberg's up.
Goldberg powers out of it. F5.
He's got him in that position. Oh, my God.
Jacks him up and hammers him down.
Wow,
In the
Goldberg.
rings of Saturn, he managed to hit a jackhammer.
Goldberg wins. So, but not only that, a gorilla press off the top rope as well. You don't see it that often. Freakishly powerful by Goldberg. 74-0. Goes to Nitro tomorrow for a US title shot. That was great. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Again, he looked very impressive throughout the majority of the match. And if they'd have carried on with this type of Goldberg, I think he could have been 10 times, 15 times better than he actually was. I know he was a great wrestler, but adding some variation into it, it's like when we've seen him when he's returned recently, he was winning matches within 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I know that's impressive for a wrestler, but to see someone, with such certain variations of suplexes and just, the amount of variations he had to his repertoire.
But I think what helped him out here, and I think credit's got to go to Perry Saturn as well, and also the Flock, because the Flock's interference and certain times in that match, that's what they needed to make it seem more competitive, if you know what I mean, like with the Flock coming in and Goldberg being distracted. And I think Saturn led the match quite well, and I think it was not a bad match considering, like I say, Goldberg's not been around and his match is quite short. We saw a different version of Goldberg, and I think that's thanks to Saturn as well, and of course the Flock. But I think a great way to start off the pay-per-view, gets you excited for the rest of it.
That does certainly get you pumped to see what's coming up next. Coming out now is Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, with Eddie Guerrero. You just think about the talent, we'll keep an eye on it now. We've just seen a Goldberg match, and now here comes Chavo with Eddie. Of course, wearing the t-shirt, Eddie Guerrero is my favourite wrestler. But as we've seen in the build-up, Eddie has not been happy with Chavo, has he,
No, there's certainly been some distinctions between the Guerrero family, much like the NWO family. And, Eddie's been told by his grandma, by one of their uncles that, they're disappointed with Chavo. They're not getting the respect they deserve within the family because Chavo's letting the Guerrero name down, so to speak. And Eddie's trying to mould him into a better wrestler. And Eddie Guerrero, he could become something great instead of just being a one-time ECW champion that loses to Kane within 30 seconds.
Exactly, but I think the thing is about this thing as well is Chavo's a man of his word, and after having a loss, he agreed that Eddie would guide him in his career, and that's why he's having to wear Eddie Guerrero's my favourite wrestler t-shirt, and that's why he's getting slapped around by Eddie. But we've seen it on Nitro, we saw it against Johnny Grunge, where he was respectful and he got cheap-shotted by Johnny, and, and that kind of way of, yes, if you let Eddie Guerrero into your life, you can improve yourself with it. Don't forget, Eddie Guerrero is fantastic.
Well, he'll help him lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah, and this is Eddie was always said, cheat to win, do what you have to do. As the Ultimo Dragon comes out, and he looks in great condition, and he'll be in action against Chavo. I wonder if Chavo's going to heed Eddie's. And Eddie Guerrero is such a great heel. The match has just started, and they're already chanting Eddie sucks, and he tells them to kiss his derriere. But Chavo's not going to concentrate on Eddie. He's got to concentrate on Dragon. My Dragon, of course, former cruiserweight champion in WCW. Up to start. And this is much more the kind of lucha libre style you would expect, of course, with the Guerrero heritage and Dragon, who is Japanese, but he's kind of learnt that lucha style, hasn't he? He's kind of transcended it across.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Chavo sits down and Dragon tries to get maybe a Dragon leg whip play. Okay, enough of that. And Chavo now trying to set up. He's going to work the leg there. And you got to imagine, Chavo's only been wrestling. We talked about Goldberg. Chavo's only been wrestling 1 to 2 years as well at this point in time. So he's still very new coming into it. He's still got a lot to learn. But he needs to embrace the dark side, doesn't he, really?
He does indeed, yes.
And a nice shoulder block by Dragon taking Chavo down.
Dragon running the ropes. Oh, Chavo looking for the leapfrog. Dragon rolling underneath him, then taking out Chavo's legs.
Now hard chops in the corner of Chavo.
Oh, the Jack Gallagher stand in the corner.
Yeah,
Before Jack Gallagher was probably even born.
Yeah, I think Gallagher took a few Dragon moves, and that was beautiful, though, by, like I said, the Dragon leaping over Chavo.
And again, as Ultimo Dragon's getting the upper hand on Chavo, Eddie's just stood there with a towel over his head, back to the match. Just kind of disgraced by what Chavo's doing.
Yeah, well, Chavo getting a little bit out wrestled at the moment. Another Eddie sucks chance. Nice scientific way. So he's got the test of strength. Dragon would have kicked Chavo.
Chavo down on the mat again, coming on the losing side of this bout so far, and a young Charles Robinson in charge, officiating.
It is Charles is in charge, and there's Chavo trying to move out of that. Dragon caught his legs, and every time Chavo moves, Dragon puts him in another submission. He's embarrassing him in a moment because that like Chavo's head is between Dragon's legs, and he's just pulling the leg to put pressure on it. And then he's saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Do you think Dragon's doing a little bit of showboating to Eddie? Because obviously he doesn't like him, and he's saying...
Oh, but Chavo grabs the legs. Dragon was showboating too much. Looks like he's got a bit of a Texas cloverleaf going on there. Oh, wow. And he's got Deathlock locked in.
You don't see that variation often. And he presses back now onto the Dragon. The Dragon's going to try and get to the bottom rope.
Is Eddie starting to get a bit impressed by what Chavo can do?
I think he was a little bit there. He saw it in his eyes. Don't forget, they are uncle and nephew, but they grew up only a few years apart. So really, it feels like they're brothers as Chavo's trying to get into this match.
Great leapfrog by Chavo. I thought he got caught by Dragon, but no, heads as a takedown. And a second one. A lovely drop kick.
Oh, now Dragon backs up to the bottom rope, and Chavo can kick away, but he's got referee's count. I think he knew all about that, didn't he? He brought him out, snapped Mare down, just wearing him down. And I think at this moment in time, he's got like I say, he got chin lock, and Eddie Guerrero's just going to shout encouragement, advice.
Scoop slam and a running elbow.
But I don't think Eddie's that happy at what Chavo's doing at the moment. Just trying to get quick covers, but Dragon keeps kicking out. Now wearing him down again. But I think this is where WCW had it over WWF. If you look at just in-ring action, you wouldn't get this kind of thing on a WWE pay-per-view. I mean, WrestleMania 14 was a little bit different. That was the last pay-per-view we watched in WWE versus WCW. We did have that light heavyweight title match, but again, we've seen in recent weeks on Raw Taka losing to people like Mark Mero and stuff, whereas Chavo and Dragon are they are their own division. I think it's a good thing, but in the end, it's quite a bad thing as well, because you just pigeonholed into that as just cruiserweight.
You've got the Goldberg Saturn match, which was great. You've got this match, which is going really well. I mean, it's a very technical match. You're going to have the Booker T versus Chris Benoit match after this, which is what I'd build to be a great match. And then you've got what I'd say would be a WWF match, Kurt Hennig versus the British Bulldog.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then you go back to Jericho versus Ikea, which again would be great on this card. And then Lex Luger and Rick Steiner versus Buff Bagwell and Scott Steiner. That's a WWE style match. Then La Parka Psychosis, which again would be great on this card. Roddy Piper and the Giant versus Hogan and Nash, which again would be a WWF match. DDP versus Raven. It's a toss-up because that match could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
If these two guys live up to their potential, then it'd be great on this card. And then, obviously finishing off with Sting versus Randy Savage, which I think is quite ridiculous. But
well, there's the thing that the main event matches or the kind of NWO talent let down the in-ring side of it, didn't it?
It is the NWO that let it down. The Randy Savage, I know he's not to be part, but then, you've got the NWO, Hogan and Nash.
But I always think it's good to have variation on pay-per-view as well, like women's matches that don't exist in WCW. Even tag team, you mentioned last time round, kind of being forgot about. It's all straight up kind of singles, apart from obviously the baseball bat and the Steiners as well. But even with Rick and Scott, they've not really kind of got into a real story yet. They're kind of, trying to make it go on without really getting to any serious action. You talk about serious action. Dragon's turned up a little bit in here, got out of Chavo's submission mistake, tried a cut out a handspring elbow that was caught by Chavo, but Dragon again managing to stop that. A few kicks and chops in the corner. Now he's got Chavo on the top rope,
looking for a superplex.
But Chavo, to his credit, fighting it, and like I say, he's not out of his element in this match, is he? He's bringing it. Chavo
going to the top. Dragon's up to his feet. Sweeps out Chavo's legs, crutches him on the turnbuckle.
And now Dragon looking to follow him up, and Dragon on the way to top. Chavo over the elbows. And Dragon now with a straight right hands.
Chavo again fighting off with some back elbows. Two guys managed to get back down to the mat, but Ultimo Dragon was on the wrong side of town. As he suplexes Chavo out of the ring the hard way.
Okay, now we're going to show Pro Saturn how to hit an SIE moonsault, because this man came up with the move. Here we go. Moonsault.
Absolute perfect.
And now Eddie, I think he's worried about Chavo's condition.
No, he's just shouting at Chavo to get up, telling him to basically win this match. There's no other option to it.
No, Eddie's trying to show some tough love here, and Chavo pulls Dragon off the apron. What? I didn't watch this. And now Chavo over the top. Oh my God.
The elevation that Chavo got just completely threw himself over the top rope, taking out Ultimo Dragon. Absolutely pin-perfect accuracy.
Eddie seems impressed by that. I know he's been shouting at Chavo.
He's got to be impressed by that.
But can Chavo capitalise on it, putting the boots to Dragon, but he can't win on the outside.
As Chavo throws Ultimo back into the ring.
Well, both men picked up a lot of speed there, didn't they? Running the ropes and then double clothesline. Both men down. Eddie's just coming in frog splash, pair of them.
Is he wearing a Rock t-shirt? Looks like the Brahma Bull on the back.
Oh, and Chavo with a chop. But Dragon with the strikes as well.
So if Dragon was going for the title, would it be Ultimo Fighting Championship?
I guess it would.
The UFC.
Dragon hits the insecure on Chavo. Goes to the top rope. Oh,
but Chavo catches him very low with a drop kick.
Well, referee's checking on it, and I think the Dragon's complaining. And Eddie's saying, that's it, Chavo, go and take advantage of it. And he's not letting Dragon breathe. Dragon's trying to fight off. And what's Chavo going to do? The referee's saying to Chavo, leave him alone, he's hurt.
Eddie's shouting, look, he's hurt, keep on him. Eddie's going crazy.
Just beat him up, Chavo.
Be relentless.
But Chavo's...
Tag Eddie in.
Chavo's being a man, being respectful towards the Dragon, saying, no, I'm not going to do it.
I think the cameraman's in Eddie's way.
And Eddie just slapped Chavo around the face. Made that a second time as well.
Oh, as soon as Dragon gets to his feet, though, Chavo hits him with a drop kick.
And now he's got him up, mate. Brainbuster.
No.
Oh.
Ultimo had an inside cradle, nearly got the cover.
But Dragon managed to kick out. Chavo managed to kick out.
And Eddie's got his back turned to the action again.
Now Chavo with the uppercut. He's going to look to put Dragon away. And a beautiful brainbuster by Chavo. Chavo said, that one's for you. And Eddie's like, yeah, but what are you waiting for? He's waiting for Dragon to get up now. Here comes Chavo.
Oh, looking for the tornado DDT. He gets caught in a Dragon sleeper.
Oh, this is it now. Chavo's in serious trouble. Uh-oh, yep.
And he taps out.
Wow.
And Eddie's furious. He said, look, he had him beat.
Eddie had him serious trouble after that low drop kick, but Chavo wouldn't take advantage. He wanted Dragon to recover. And then Dragon sleeper. Chavo loses again, and Eddie coming in here, and he let down the Guerrero family yet again. And Eddie comes in and says, what do I have to do, Chavo? What do I have to do to make you win? And Eddie says Chavo's a bit crazy.
Chavo's saying, look, I'm not cheating to win.
So Dragon beats Chavo in a good match, but again, Eddie Guerrero's a real star in this, isn't he? You know, he's a real villain. Chavo will not cheat to win, but that is what's in the Guerrero's namesake. Oh, we'll go back to an internet location.
www.wcwwrestling.com.
Yeah, and Paige there, going to talk about his match that he's got upcoming against Raven for the United States title. So personal between these two. You know, they go back years with Jake the Snake involved, and Paige was there to look after Raven. Well, Raven doesn't think so, you know, and he said he was left to rot in ECW. He had to make his way to WCW to finally get an opportunity, and that's why he hates DDP. We'll find out tonight when the US title's on the line. Raven's rules match. But it's all about championships, and we've got a great title match next. It's the television championship, and here comes Dan's favourite, Chris Benoit. So the build up to this, Dan, it's been pretty good, isn't it, really? We've seen a kind of rivalry between Booker and Benoit. We've had 2 10-minute draws for the TV championship. So this one is no time limit until we are actually going to get a winner for Booker and Benoit. But why are you looking forward to this match, Phil?
Just the rivalry, the rivalry, the way they've had it built up. There's been no clear-cut winner. As you say, they've had 2 10-minute draws. This match is without a time limit this time.
Yeah, and it's just, but it's more about the kind of the wrestling side. We've been impressed with Booker T, what we saw of him here, isn't it? He can really go in the ring. I think maybe you forget about that with Booker T just because the kind of character and the spinneroonie and stuff. But he really does back up in the ring. We've seen him week in, week out on Nitro defending that TV championship because beat Rick Martel at the Rick Martel and Paris Saturn a couple of months ago on the pay-per-view we last watched. And the fans seem to be getting behind him as well, didn't they? You know, it's a real... Talk about WCW doesn't build stars, but we've seen with Goldberg, with Booker, it's kind of real homegrown talent.
Well, currently Booker T is a no time heavyweight champion.
Exactly. And Benoit has not held a single championship here in WCW. The only championship he's won in America at this point in time here is tag team titles with Dean Malenko in ECW. So you talk about how successful these two men would become, and this is the feud for it, you know. Right, so we'll talk about television championship compared to European title. What do you prefer?
I think the European Championship.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not for its like prestigiousness, but just of the title itself.
Yeah. I understand the point of a television championship. Like, for NXT, I'd rather have a TV title than a North American championship, because at least you can defend that kind of every week. Do you know what I mean? It would be like one of those things. It's the third championship behind US, and of course the world title, but I still think it's a good one. And for young stars like Booker T, they can have great matches we see with Benoit, people like Guerrero, and any of the cruiserweights who kind of want to move up a little bit. I think this championship would be perfect for them to do that, you know. But this should be a doozy. Booker T and Benoit, we've seen the chemistry these two men have got. The bell starts. I mean, who do you favour in this one, if you're going to watch it straight up?
Chris Benoit.
I think Benoit, he's got a certain edge at the moment. The fans seem to be behind him. And we know how dangerous that crossface is, you know. He can put it on in an instant. And a collar and elbow tie-up, Benoit and Booker to start.
It's a bit of a stalemate to start off with, but the upper hand. He's got a side headlock on Benoit.
Yeah, the first collar and elbow tie-up with a draw. This is how this match is going to start off, trying to see who's going to have control. Nice shoulder block by Booker T, showing his power, mate, sending Benoit out. So we'll talk about, think Benoit's got a power advantage over, think Booker's got a power advantage over Benoit. They're pretty equal if you look at the stats, you know. Maybe speed, you say Benoit, but then again, Booker T is known for his kind of high-flying moves as well. Aggressiveness, again, you might say Benoit, but Booker T's kind of got that as well. Technically, Booker's been impressive. Maybe Benoit is on top there, but you would say probably Booker's got more personality. So it's really weird how well matched they are, isn't it? You know,
it is. Yeah, I think these two guys are a perfect match to have a perfect match for a match. Yeah. Really,
they blend well when Benoit comes back in, not happy about being thrown out. So he's for a huge chop to Booker. Booker reverses the Irish whip, tries a kick a couple of times. Benoit dodges. And then Benoit just kicks out Booker's feet, well, legs, and working on Booker's legs, and then rams it into the mat. Benoit's going to take his time, because you know, like we said, there's no 10-minute time limit here. Any time it takes, and Benoit's just going to be slowly doing it. Booker's up low, kicks Benoit, sends Benoit to the outside yet again. And Booker's saying, come on, bring it. Great wrestling between it two.
Booker T trying to call Benoit in. Even pulling the ring ropes apart for him so he can get in. I mean, you know, both of these guys have got to be frustrated going into this match. So they've had two draws, and I think these two guys want to see who the winner is as much as we do.
I think most definitely. I think this is the thing about it. And it's what Benoit does want to kind of be friends with Booker. It's about competition. It's about who's better. Benoit believes he's better than Booker, and Booker thinks he's better than Benoit. So there we go. We've got to think about it, and we've got a championship on the line, which kind of adds more to it. Both of these young guys want to make the biggest impact possible, and with only a few spaces on the card, now is their chance, you know, because you could say the winner of this might carry on to the next pay-per-view. The loser might not even be featured. You know how many people are on the WCW roster? Yeah, it just might not happen. And Booker, at this moment in time, has just got Benoit's arms, going to try and wear him down. Of course, you work on the arm. And maybe the crippler crossface is a little bit weaker later on.
So, just a quick statistic on the TV Championship, because I know you like to fact me, but I'm going to fact you. Who was the first TV title champion?
What year?
1974.
Oh, fucking hell.
Danny Miller.
Oh, wouldn't have got that.
And the last ever champion? Oh,
Jim Duggan. No, I never got that. Well, Benoit trying to fight out of that submission, but Booker, being the explosive veteran compared to Benoit, takes him down. Now he's got him back in the armbar. Now both men to the feet. Irish whip by Booker. Lowers his head low. Might be a bit of a mistake with Benoit. And it is, because Benoit fires back with a kick. So now the suplex himself.
Hangs Booker T up on the top rope. There's been some legends that have actually held this. I mean, you know, Ivan Koloff, Ric Flair, Paul Jones, Mr. Wrestling, Greg Valentine, Ricky Steamboat.
It has a problem with a championship though after a time, doesn't it? You know, like say it goes from
Masked Superstar even won it. Rowdy Piper, Bad Leroy Brown, Mike Rotundo.
But any of the championships really for WCW go back a hell of a long way. Like you said, that one goes back to the 70s. And the WCW title go back to like the early 1904, whenever they try and backdate it. So there's a lot of legends. And someone's got a sign in the crowd, and it's got Booker T, and it's like one of those whiteboards, and it's got Benoit on it now. Come on, make your mind up. Well, anyway, back to the match, and Booker was in control, but Benoit has kind of managed to survive that storm, and has taken over himself, worked the arm of Booker, and now he's got T up, trying to suplex him, went for the drop kick. Booker managed to save himself on the ropes. Benoit dropped toe hold low, takes Booker T down. And Benoit picking Booker up, takes him down. Benoit's going up, this might be over. Diving headbutt time. Oh!
Catches Booker T square in the heart.
We've got a new champion. If Benoit can get over the cover. 1, 2,
oh no, Booker T's foot was on the bottom rope. Benoit goes for another cover, but Booker T manages to kick out.
And Benoit's got to be frustrated. He's just given Booker T his best shot there, and Booker manages to get the shoulder up. Benoit going to try another one of those snap suplexes. Oh!
Booker T reverses it, catches one of his own.
And that was fantastic by Booker there. Drops Benoit down on his head. Both men struggling to get to the feet. And this has been, you talk about a back and forth match. Neither men really got the advantage. I could see this match over and over again. It's been so good. Booker using the ropes to get out, and Benoit stalking behind him.
Can I just say that earlier on when I pointed out it was the Brahma ball on the back of that cameraman's t-shirt, it's not, it's actually the...
Benoit knocks him down, clothesline, go for the cover, 1, 2, oh!
Booker T managing to just kick out.
And the Crippler looking to put away the television champion now, snap suplex. Gave him the cover.
Oh no, Booker T managing to get the shoulder up at 2.
2. There's the thing, Benoit trying to press down on the shoulders on Booker. Didn't go to hook the leg. And Benoit might be a little smidge frustrated now, but he's not going to let Booker T see that.
Oh, backbreaker goes for the cover again. But again, Booker T managing to kick out.
And I think he knows Booker's tired, so he's trying to get him to expend as much energy as possible. Then Booker, he's getting up again. He's getting more and more tired. I think Benoit realises that. And Booker tries a clothesline. Benoit blocks it. Now German suplex.
Doesn't release, goes for a second. Hits it.
And after 2, he's going to look for the hat trick of Germans.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets it. And Booker is out. Well, Booker's not moved. And some of the fans not happy. Some of the fans are. They want Benoit to win his first singles championship here in WCW. Suplex, Irish whipped into the turnbuckle. Benoit now picks Booker up, sticks him on top. And he slits the throat, signifying maybe a new television champion's on its way. Benoit Booker all the way to the top.
Oh, hits him with a super German suplex, folds Booker T in half. Benoit goes down holding the back of his head. There's got to be some concussion and a bit of brain damage going on there.
Oh, seriously?
Hopefully that don't affect him later on in his life.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He must have fallen there about 10 feet off the top rope with Booker T, you know.
It must have been, yes, at least 15, 20 foot.
And the impact hard down. Both men down. I wouldn't be surprised. It's double count now. Thank goodness it's not a 10-minute time limit here. We've been over already. Benoit crawls into a cover. 2.
Oh, but Booker T just managing to kick out.
Right at the last second. And that might be the last act of desperation for Booker. He looks out on his feet. He's got a glazed over look in his eyes. And Benoit struggling to get up himself. He's got the Irish whip. Booker reverses it though. Picks him up. Spinebuster.
Thunderous spinebuster. Better than any other spinebuster I've seen to this date.
Well, Booker down and now. Benoit down. Can Booker take advantage of that? Maybe going up. He's put people away before with the missile drop kick. We've seen it with a Houston hangover. But he does like use the axe kick and scissor kick as well. Irish whip. Boom, momentum up. Oh!
Benoit ducks it and Booker T catches him square on the forehead with a running flying elbow.
And even the referee, Benoit's head makes sure he's still conscious. And Booker picks up Benoit.
Irish whip again. One man flapjack. Spinneroon is his way to his feet. And Booker T now signalling for the end.
And the crowd getting behind him as well, raising the roof.
One might say this could be the book end.
And now we're going to go for this bicycle kick. Oh!
Well, I was looking for the axe kick. Inadvertently catches the referee. I don't know why the referee was in the way in the first place.
Well, I think Benoit threw the referee into Booker. But that should have been a straight-up disqualification. Booker caught in a crossface now. And, of course, referee down. He can't see what's going on. And Booker T is tapping out. It looked like it was a tap out. He finally got the bottom rope. Benoit rightly thinks he's won. Slapping the referee across the face now, trying to make him recover. Well, I think Benoit has got himself to blame. He pushed the referee, I think, in the way there. Referee back up. Booker is... Oh! There's the axe kick.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Booker T picks up the victory.
Well, I think that was all he had in him, but it was kind of desperation there. Benoit had the match won. We saw Booker tap out. Of course, referee bump, but Booker wins it. I think match, Dan.
I thought it was a great match between these two guys. You know, I don't know if Chris Benoit accidentally pulled the referee in front of him to try and take the full brunt of the axe kick, but it turned out to be his undoing. It was a brilliantly worked match between these two guys. You can tell this rivalry's definitely not over, and there's going to be a few more chapters, and I look forward to seeing the rest of this rivalry. You know, it's one of these rivalries that's gone on for a little while, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, we haven't seen the best of it yet, have we? You know, it's slowly building up. The chemistry's good. And even the ref bump's a little bit disappointing because we ain't got clean winner, but again, it opens it up for more stuff. And the official's out here taking the injured referee away. And let's have a look at it now. So, he was going to go for the scissor kick. Referee was the wrong side, and it was Benoit who pushed him in the way.
So it was Benoit's undoing.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So scissor kick Booker to the back of the referee's head wasn't his fault because of disqualification. Here's a replay. Was Booker trying to reach the bottom rope or was it a tap out? Let's have a look. What do you reckon, Dan?
Well, it doesn't matter anyway because the referee wasn't there. But it does look like, I don't know, I think it could be mistaken for both, really, because it looked like he was reaching for the rope, but it looks like he's tapping as well.
And with Benoit with a cover there as well, was his hand maybe underneath bottom rope? A lot of questions to answer with the television title on the line, but Booker walks out of Spring Stampede tonight as champion, but for how long will he hold it? And I would say after 3 matches, and what are we into this pay-per-view now? We're like 50 minutes in, and it's been quite an enjoyable pay-per-view, isn't it, you know?
Yes, but the thing with WCW pay-per-views is it's normally the main event matches, and there's a few chucked in there that let us down. And sorry to say it, but British Bulldog with Jim Neidhart going against Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
This match doesn't appeal
Yeah,
to me.
all right. Don't focus on the negativity that's just about to come. I'm talking about the first hour, like we've just seen. It's been good.
First hour, yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it's been good. So let's look at that. And yes, unfortunately, up next it is Bulldog versus Hennig. But I've enjoyed it so far. The Goldberg Saturn was a great way to start. Chavo Dragon, really enjoyable. Of course, Benoit Booker just then. But we will continue with match number 4. So yes, this next match might not be great. Kurt Hennig coming out here now with Rick Rude. We've seen the Bulldogs entrance, but a couple of things here about this. So the last pay-per-view that we had for WCW was Hennig versus Brett. Since then, Brett's kind of been involved, isn't he? He's been saying like he's gonna stop kind of bounds that we've seen with Hennig and the NWO. And of course, he made his presence felt on the main event of Nitro last week, getting involved in Nash versus Sting. He's kind of moved away, so now Hennig's got Bulldog. But again, it's a real WWF match, isn't it? It's like Mr. Perfect versus British Bulldog. I mean, Bulldog from, you would say, since the British Bulldogs tag team, he's been in constant employment, hasn't he? You know, like through WCW, back WWF, Steroid Trouble, WCW, WWF, Heart Foundation, and now eventually back to WCW. So at least he's getting a spot on the card. You know, personally, do you think Bulldog's worth that many chances?
I don't know, but I just think it's the diversity of him. If you get me, you know, it's like, you know, because he's British, it brings the British name, you know, it's, oh yeah, you know, we've got someone we can follow, British Bulldogs here, yada, 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 you know, it's it's just the name factor of it. I think it's not really athleticism of him.
A couple of things exactly that, because when he was in WCW first time round, he did the thing. Well, the event that you watched, wasn't it? Bulldog was there in England. The whole reason they did the tour. Of course, been to Royal Albert Hall with Bulldog involved. But JR said something quite good. He was talking about Bulldog, and he's like, there's only so many times you can repackage him and give him another chance until you have to actually create new stars. And this is what we're seeing WWF doing at this moment. Doing that, whereas WCW is still relying on the kind of Kurt Hennig and the Bulldog, even though they're not in the same shape. And it doesn't matter what the commentators tell me about, you can see with the knee brace on Hennig, and you can see with Bulldog as well, and with Rude, and even Jim Neidhart, it looks like he's going to be handcuffed.
So yeah, I was going to say, am I led to believe that Jim the Anvil Neidhart's going to get handcuffed to Ravishing Rick Rude?
Yeah, it looks like it. But you wouldn't say any of these men are in fantastic shape, would you? So
I would say that they're all past it. I mean, Rude doesn't wrestle anymore. Kurt Hennig, I thought he was great back in his day. Now not so much. I think it's more just the name of him. Again, again with British Bulldog, it's the name Neidhart. He's part of the Hart family.
But do you think WCW should have just gone through their roster and just got rid of these names? Because this is something that we saw TNA make the same mistake of as well. They had all the homegrown stars, and then they just got any WWF or WWE name that was available. They just came to WCW / TNA then. And I think they should have given an opportunity. We've seen already the first 3 matches that we had. And there's so much talent there, and yet now this kind of... The match is not even started yet. They're still arguing about who handcuffs who here. But now we're finally going to see Rude and Jim handcuffed. And we've started the match.
And the match has started, yes. And it's Bulldog getting the upper hand. Starting to beat down Hennig.
Well, big Bulldog. I still love the British Bulldog. Like I say, the greatest export we've ever had to the rest of the world, Bulldog. It's working on Hennig's leg. Yeah, who's had a bigger impact then?
Well, English.
Yeah.
What's he won? I mean, he's not really been overly successful.
No, just Intercontinental Championship, European Champion, Tag Team Champion. Success at WCW. Was around for about 10-15 years as kind of the only British guy really to make it, being the main event.
I suppose in this time, yeah, he is. But, I think there's a lot more talent out there, so to speak.
Yeah, well, you talk about, don't forget, Bulldog was. Bulldog was. Bulldog was a great talent. I don't think anybody's really reached this success even now. If you look at the British wrestlers, I think the only one that can do that, talk about British,
Drew McIntyre.
because of course Drew McIntyre who can become there. But even Bulldog is an icon. We talk about WCW like to talk about icons and stuff like this. I would say Bulldog is, and I would argue Kurt Hennig was the perfect kind of is as well. Because if you look at like Dolph Ziggler, he's kind of basing himself kind of off the look of Hennig, so that kind of freestyle kind of bumping. This can't do it anymore because, like I say, his body's breaking down. And it's the same with the Bulldog. And Bulldog's been in control the whole match so far. Been working on a leg, just with the right hands. It ain't pretty, Dan, but it sure is effective.
Indeed, yes. And Bulldog looks like he's been through the mill already and he's been on the offence.
Yes. Working a leg of Hennig. Oh, Rude trying to get in the ring. And he gets pulled off by Jim.
Then he drags him out of the ring.
Of course, they are connected by hand. And of course, Hennig and Rude like to handcuff people at the moment. We see them handcuffing wrestlers to the ropes, beating them down.
So am I correct in saying that Jim the Anvil Neidhart's the only one that's alive? Yeah.
Yeah, including the referee as well, yeah. And Jim's on his last fucking legs as well. Well, we talked about, I think, all Hennig, Rude and Bulldog all died within like a couple of years of each other.
Yeah.
Rude's first.
Crack binge.
Yeah, Rude's first, and then I think it's Bulldog and then Hennig. Referee died of cancer.
It looks like he's...
Yeah. Brian Hildebrand. Mick Foley talks about him in his first book. But anyway, back to the match and Bulldog working on the leg of Hennig. People tell us sometimes the podcast goes down some dark alleys, but we like to bring it back to the light.
Indeed, yes. Bulldog's still working on that right leg of Hennig. You see it's got a extra strapping on it there. He was walking down with a crutch a few weeks ago on Nitro.
Yeah, and now he's getting rammed headfirst into the turnbuckles.
He's getting a Jeff Hardy treatment.
Hennig now down. And Bulldog saying, should I finish it? We talk about NWO t-shirts. A lot of Sting masks in the house as well. And what is Bulldog going for here? Might be the sharpshooter.
A shout out to the Hart family.
And what's the cop doing? Jim's getting
It's
in his
Virgil.
face. Oh, no!
It's Vincent.
Vincent in disguise, and as he's distracted Jim, the handcuff off. In your own time, Rick.
Not only is he getting handcuffs off, but he's handcuffing Neidhart to the ring post.
And I don't think Neidhart realises.
Now he does. But he's still got hold of Vincent round the throat.
And the match is still going on in ring. Bulldog's beaten, heading down. Goes for the power slam, and Rude grabs the leg. Referee gets distracted with all the shenanigans.
Oh, and perfect throw first into the turnbuckle, and that is it. Anvil Neidhart still got hold of Vincent round the throat.
Oh. And now Rude in with a big knee to Bulldog, and that was awful.
That was terrible.
Now Rude, but at least it was over quick. Rude now.
Indeed, yes.
Work with the forearms. Well, referee, at least Jim's got a weapon in his hand. And another NWA beatdown after Brett promised we wouldn't see it anymore.
We're seeing it.
We're seeing it in spades. And now Vince's got a nightstick.
Pass it off to Rude, who chokes out the Bulldog with it, and no Bret Hart to be seen.
Oh, the NWO sending a message to the Hart Foundation, and that bell keeps ringing.
That's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, it is really annoying. And now Rude choking Jim, and this is what the NWO is all about. Well, so Hennig wins the match, beats down Bulldog afterwards, and look at Jim handcuffed for life. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely terrible. I mean, Bret's going around saying, yeah, there's going to be no more NWO beatdowns, and exactly what we got was an NWO beatdown, and it didn't even come out to try and avenge it.
It wasn't even like they were complete strangers. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was the Parker and Psychosis where it's his fucking family. Like,
indeed.
If you're going to do it for anybody, come on now. And Vincent going back to get his hat. Well, there we go, the NWO. And it doesn't even make the NWO look better, does it? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make the NWO look strong. It makes it look a bit stupid. It makes Neidhart and Bull look like fucking idiots. Kind of the reason they got signed and, you know, because obviously Brett got screwed and then they come over here and get beaten up by the NWO.
So instead of getting screwed by Vince, they're getting screwed by the NWO instead.
They're getting screwed by Vincent. Yeah, exactly. And Bulldog out here. Out the ring now. Finally getting the handcuffs off Jim.
Let's go and smoke some crack.
wait, Pat. But can it get any better after this?
Well, it certainly can't get any worse.
Yeah, it is going to improve. Good. So here comes Prince is Iakia, and he's going to be in action. That's corrective text for you, isn't it? You write down Prince Iakia, comes out Prince is Iakia. Anyway, he's coming out here, and we've seen him in recent weeks, haven't we?
We have, yes. We've seen Jericho beating down Bates, and then Iakia comes out to make the save, but Jericho's one step ahead of Iakia.
At this moment in time, he's been mocking everybody. Of course, Iakia got trained by Dean Malenko. Jericho, of course, been disrespecting everybody. He's been taking a little bit of something from everybody, hasn't he? We talked about Juve's mask, Malenko's career, of course, Mysterio, and the kind of disrespect when he was injured him as well.
And it looks like Jericho's going to talk, so please silence your cell phones and shut your damn mouths.
Nice from Jericho, eh? He comes out here, dedicates the match to Dean Malenko, his fallen comrade, and of course Jericho's a man of 1,004 holds now, you know. All the Jerichoholics were screaming for Chris. He had to tell him to calm down a little bit as he came out here. It's perfect heel work, really, isn't it? You know,
it is brilliant. Yeah.
Any wrestler who wants to work being a heel, just see what Jericho's doing here. Just make him, you know, as unlikable as possible. And Tony says the commentary, oh, he's just goofy. And it's good that he's got these. You know what I mean? We talk about wrestlers that have, and Jericho's managed to be goofy, but he's managed to be serious as well. And all aspects of it, and he wants to teach Prince Iakia a lesson, who looks ready for business here. Like you talked about, former television champion, and that sign in the crowd's changed again to Jericho's a wimp. So someone's he's just going to wipe it out, write a new one soon. Here we go.
That is a very intelligent. Saves bringing loads of pieces of paper.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Thumbing through them, trying to find one. It's write it down on the board, hold it up.
So here we go. Cruiserweight title on the line. Collar over type start. Iakia got him in the side headlock. Nice reversal by Chris Jericho. But Iakia's got the arm. Jericho
rolls through, nips up, but gets caught with a short arm clothesline.
And already we've seen better action than we did in the first 30 seconds of this. We did an entire Hennig Bulldog match. But Iakia takes Jericho. Iakia takes Jericho down. Now he's got him in the side headlock. Just stretching away.
So what are your thoughts on barefooted wrestlers?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I know, I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but I really don't like it. Because I wouldn't want to get kicked in the face with a barefoot, you know what I mean? And that's what me off UFC, is when they fight barefoot as well. He's like, I don't really want that. And it's dangerous, you know. That's why Rusev used to wear used to have kind of barefoot with tapes on. And he got injured when he, I think, performed. So he had to put boots on. Of course, Margo used to have the tape feet as well. Yokozuna. It's usually quite the bigger wrestlers. It's weird to see the smaller ones. I know Jimmy Snuka, I think, wrestled barefoot, but of course, he murdered his wife, didn't he? So there we go.
It says a lot for wrestlers in bare feet.
I'm surprised Benoit didn't have bare feet when he came wrestling, but into this one. And I'm not a massive fan of Prince IK. I never really got him, you know. It's like I say, the personality, I don't really understand. He's a prince. Okay, that's great. But what's there to like about him, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't seem as over. I mean, Jericho gets more of a response being a heel.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Jericho, this is looking to be a successful title defence. So let's the prick out.
Well, he pulls a dropkick out of the bag there as Jericho was starting to get some offense in. Side headlock takedown.
The thing I like about Jericho as well, always different trunks that he's got, isn't it? You know, these are the kind of yellow ones. I don't think he's ever worn. I've never seen that recent times. You know, like.
Oh, and Jericho skinning the cat.
Oh,
he gets caught with a drop kick and sent to the outside anyway. But I think if he was going against a really facey face, then, you know, a really over face, then I think it would kind of cancel each other out.
That's the thing with Jericho. They're slowly building them up, aren't they? They're making him like it's all about the face of the Cruiserweight division. Prince Ikea, impressive there, off the apron with a kind of cannonball it was on Jericho. Throws him back in.
Jericho trying to escape, but another headlock takedown into a side headlock.
And the thing I like about Jericho as well is that he'll do anything. He'll walk away, he'll get a count out, disqualification, as long as he keeps his championship. And I think he's been a great Cruiserweight champion. And I like the fact they're kind of building up this thing with Malenko as well. You know, Malenko walks away, Jericho saying you're a loser. You've got the built-in thing with Mysterio when he finally returns from injury. So it's quite clever, you know. I think Jericho would be... I'm not happy in this position on the card, but you want to see progress as we go out through 98. You know, like we talked about Goldberg with Jericho as well. See if he could really cull it.
Oh, truck toe hold there. Hangs RK up on the second rope. Just shouting to anyone that's going to listen. Blowing everyone kisses and just getting a typical heel response as he kicks Prince to the chest.
Now Prince struggling to get up. Jericho's got him.
Powers him up. Oh, bit of a delayed suplex there. Lovely by Jericho.
Jericho showing his power.
And it's just his cocky, arrogant pose there. Foot across the chest. But Prince kicks out. Jericho's still a wimp.
And Jericho saying, look, I'm taking my time.
Kick to the back. He's just putting the boots to RK.
Shouting at the crowd as well, saying, do you know how good I am?
Stupid idiot.
Well, the crowd's gone a little bit quiet, haven't they? But it's going to be a long night. Snapmare. And then the rear chin lock.
Jericho's perched on the top rope. Kissing to the fans. Oh, but gets caught by RK as he lifts the feet up as Jericho was on his way down.
Well, he took too long. He slammed down RK and then he was mocking like on the way he walked. And now he's been caught by it. RK is back to his feet, making a comeback. Irish whip. Oh!
Was that a version of a Samoan drop? As RK springboards his way in, hits a plancha.
Oh, but Jericho managing to kick out. And Jericho got too overconfident there. IK is trying to get back into this. Goes onto Jericho's shoulders. Rolls him up. Jericho low managing to reverse it into the line tamer.
No, he's got the walls of Jericho in.
And Jericho thinks that IKEA tapped out. He didn't. He made the bottom rope. Jericho realised now going back to the chops in the corner, but IKEA reverses the Irish whip.
But runs into Jericho's feet. Jericho with a sunset flip though, but gets rolled up by IKEA. But Jericho just managing to kick out.
Oh, Prince knocks Jericho down. They're going all the way up.
But gets caught on his way out. Gets a slap from Jericho, who's now perched in position for a superplex.
Oh, this could be bad for Prince, but Prince trying to fight it. Oh!
Jericho going to the outside. Looks like he's tweaked his right knee. Okay, managing to get off a bit lighter. Landed on the apron, but again falling to the wafer-thin mats below. Well, I'm glad you asked, James. They are mere millimetres thick.
Both men there. But off the top rope, like I said, Okay, hitting the apron on the way down. Jericho must have fallen about 10 feet, 15 feet, all the way down to those wafer-thin mats. And Dan, how far did he fall and how thin are those mats?
Well, he must have fallen at least 25, 30 feet, and then mats are just bare millimetres thick.
And now both men trying to get in. Jericho's in a fight now, and I think he realises it. Both men exchanging yay and nay punches.
Robert Reeves catching him. Jericho rolling through, catching the legs. He's going to try and get the lion tamer in for the second time.
But Prince has got to ropes once and counts it a second time. Rolls up Jericho. Oh!
But Jericho just managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2. And Jericho, I think, realises just how close he was.
Oh, but catches him.
Oh. Jericho maybe trying DDT. Got caught in a Northern Light suplex. Oh.
Just manages to get his arm. Just manages to get his arm at the bottom to break the count.
Well, he knew he couldn't get his shoulder up there, so that desperation. Good that the referee noticed that. Both men have come close, and I care now. Rocking Jericho with those right hands. Another Irish whip. Oh no. Little Sexy the Midget Killer. Cool. And then Jericho with a strikes to the back of Arcare's head.
Big Sexy the Giant Killer.
Oh yeah. And putting him up on the top rope, but Prince fights him off.
Oh. Sunset flip by Arcare there. From the top rope. That was absolutely beautiful, but gets caught. Now he's got the lion tamer cinched in deep.
And now Arcare's got all the referee, but he has to tap out. And Jericho there made Arcare look good, didn't he? And it was a tougher challenge than I thought. I mean, quite a good match. What are your thoughts?
It was a great match, yeah, between these two guys. I'm not sure what Arcare brings to the party, though. He didn't do anything outstanding that impressed me. I think it was all about Jericho.
Yeah, you could have really put anybody in that position there. And I think Jericho coming close, you know, the cockiness at the start, being in complete control. And then, like I said, with the comeback and thinking, shit, I'm in a little bit of trouble now, how close he was. But again, a clean victory. And we talk about this, don't we? Like the NWO and other things even nowadays. You don't need interference. Like that kind of victory there kind of builds, you know. So this is the kind of thing that we want to see. And Jericho with a lion tamer always holds it on a little bit longer. And we talk about little tokens that he takes from opponents.
And he's taken Prince Arcare's, was it Sarong?
Yeah. And what's so wrong with that? Jericho won the match, so he takes that from Ikea. Backstage with WWE versus WCW
Look at the laptops they've got.
I know. Chunky. So's Raven, the US champion. Like we said, it's going to be in action later with DDP. Uh-oh.
Yes, James, that uh-oh only means one thing, and it is the dreaded NWO.
Oh, NWO. And it's the biggest bloody posers of the lot. Buff coming out here with Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. And we are actually going to have a bit of a rivalry between Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner. Of course, turned on him, 2 months ago, and we're finally going to see it. But I think Buff's complaining he's got an injury. Well, I don't believe it. I don't like... Well, I mean, what do you think of Buff and Scott and all this kind of posing, Dan? I mean, I know we have a go at the NWO a lot, but is there anything...
I think they're idiots.
Yeah, it's nothing.
But then we've got fucking Lex Luger also in this match, who also likes to fucking pose.
And then we've got the Barker. JJ Dennison on Thunder. Anybody that hasn't got a doctor's release, a.k.a. Macho Man, won't be able to wrestle. And Buff saying because he hurt his hand, he hasn't got a doctor's release, he can't wrestle. But I've just seen Mean Gene and JJ Dillon walk into the ring. Maybe Scott wants his cancelled because he doesn't want to fight his brother Rick. Is he running scared? Oh, so because of the Macho situation,
good away from.
They've flown in a doctor especially for him, but because Buff's injured, now he could be checked on to see if he will be medically cleared. And lo and behold, the weird-looking doctor is at ringside. But he's he's orthopedic. Well, the doctor was checking on it, and as JJ says something to Buff grabbed him with the bad hand. So obviously he can wrestle. And so the match is going to happen now. And here comes Lex Luger, Rick Steiner, and Ted DiBiase. It's time for a fight. Hopefully this is over before it causes any trouble. And Luger's flexing, but Rick's ready for action, going right after his brother. But Buff stops him. Oh, Luger catches Scott on the outside with a clothesline.
But Buff's working ring.
Oh, Scott Steiner sent it into barricade. And now Buff, arm, I think, and the hand is working fine. He's beating down Rick.
It's a miracle. A miracle.
He's a Lazarus pit.
He is shit, yeah.
And Buff going the Irish whip. Oh, Rick Steiner turns that into a power slam, and that was impressive. I said Rick
Scott from behind, taking down his brother.
I said Rick don't impress me much, but that was good. And now Scott, always a sneak attack. Do you know something interesting about that as well? Scott Steiner's not hit Rick Steiner unless his back's been turned since the split. And that just shows you what a coward Scott Steiner is. Doesn't want to face his brother Rick. But now he does, he's beat. Here comes Scott and Buff. I mean, you could have a pose off just Rick Steiner. Just be there.
Well, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Buff and Lex, they could just stand in the ring flexing.
Yeah. Scott trying an Irish whip. didn't work as well. And now choking Rick out on that second rope.
Got the largest arms in the world, Jack.
Tags in Buff. Now Buff's in and he's in control, slamming down Rick, complaining about the hand. Commentators make a good point about Scott Steiner picking his spot. And if anybody knows about tag team wrestling, it's Scott as well. So teaching Buff everything to do in this match. Cutting off the ring. Buff holding Rick.
Oh, as he boots him in the midsection. Lex Luger tries making his way in the ring. Gets cut off by the ref.
And Scott then just raking the eyes of Rick.
Ooh, scoop slam. Drops the elbow onto the throat of his brother.
Goes for the cover, but Rick managing to get the shoulder up at 2.
2.
Scott tags in Buff.
Lex Luger's nothing more than a spectator for the moment.
Put their names together, it would be Scoff or Butt, wouldn't it? Rick taken down. How many times have we seen a snapmare into a side lock?
We've seen it to its death.
Rick struggling to get in. The fans want Luger.
I don't.
Dan does not. I'm open to it. I'm open to Lex Luger. He's probably been the most... Oh, look at Buff getting in Nick Patrick's face. Used to be the evil NWO referee. But quick tags between Buff and Scott. Throws him in the turnbuckle. Snapmare into the side. No, not yet. Irish whip in the corner.
Reversal by Rick, but runs into Buff's boot. Runs into it a second time.
And then it was a kind of, I don't know what it was, backdrop or a kind of power slam move.
Lex Luger makes his way into the ring, thus distracting the referee, allowing Scott to get into his brother.
Oh, but Rick fights him off, and how can he get in Luger? Yes!
Finally gets the tag into Luger, who runs through Scott, runs through Buff. Eliminates Scott from the Rumble. Clotheslines Buff.
And Luger is on fire, baby. Forearm to Buff.
Now he's signalling for the torture rack.
He's flexing! He's flexing! Got Buff up. But Scott Steiner's stopping it. Scott Steiner's got hold of Luger. Oh! But Buff was going to come running, but Rick stops it. And
now it's face to face, and Scott don't want none of Rick, and he's running all the way down the aisle. I've never seen him run so fast in my life.
No, I've never seen anything so fast like that in my life. You know what? Any of his brother, now it's Buff and Luger. Buff slams Lex. Gonna go for the Buff blockbuster.
Rick up to push him off as Ted DiBiase was distracting the ref. And now it's the NWO getting undone by their dastardly tactics because Buff's up in the torture rack.
And Buff has to say he quits. Luger and Rick get the win. I don't think it's too bad. Again, there. What were your thoughts?
No, it was rather harmless. Got terrible, if you know what I mean. Now, Rick and Luger, you had Scott being the dastardly coward running away, leaving Buff to fend for himself. I wonder how that's going to go down with the NWO.
Well, exactly. We'll see what happens there. But, I mean, Luger looking really, really good, coming in with a hot tag and getting the victory there. He looked like a real kind of star in this one. Used right. And, again, Rick and Scott, yeah, that storyline continues very interesting. But now we see Mean Gene Oakland, and he's going to tell us some very important information. It's if you can ring the hotline. We've still got time in this pay-per-view to get a hotline. Mean Gene looks a bit... his hair's not that well kept. Maybe he's been drinking heavily. He should be over to the left a little bit so it looks like he's wearing some horns. But, of course, don't forget, it's 1-900-999-99-100 to the number. And it only costs $1.69 a minute. Kids, come here. Now, get your parents' permission. So we've, hotline number, still got a lot of time left. So our next match is going to be, oh my God, a special bonus match that we're going to have. Yeah, it's La Parka. And we've seen on Nitro, didn't we? Psychosis, was it low blow on La Parka? And then La Parka hitting him with a steel chair out of a bit of revenge. So we're going to get this match here. But again, it's nice to see different styles on show. And I'm going a fan of the chairman of WCW, La Parka, a little bit, what I've seen of him. He's always a laugh. What do you think of the setting? We just talked about it. I quite like it. The barn set, the barn doors.
It's quite a feature of a set. You know, they're in Denver, Colorado, so you know it's kind of a cowboy type land. So they've gone for that setting on the entrance.
Yep.
It doesn't follow it to the ring, but
no, we might want to see that. But you got the big logo in the middle of the ring, because like I say, Spring Stampede as Psychosis makes his way out. Again, it's something you don't see. I mean, how many, like it's talked about, how many cruiserweight matches have we seen tonight? Or how many talents like this? You know, it's got to be the third one. And look at the Parker dancing away.
And then spitting in the face of Psychosis. I think that's just psyching him up, though.
Psyching up Cosis, yeah, you're right. And the Parker over with a huge chop. This should be a very Lucha Libre type match.
He even takes off his glove to deliver a more defined chop.
You see the spit coming out of Psychosis' mouth there.
I didn't know he was white.
Maybe it's just his hand is white. Now the Parker's got him. Oh no, Psychosis dodged that.
Oh, and Psychosis hitting a slap of his own.
Oh, and the Parker throws Psychosis to the apron. Psychosis holds on though. Blocks the Parker strike, sends him into the top turnbuckle.
Head scissors his way over the top rope and takes down La Parka.
Now he's into the corner. Psychosis comes running in, but La Parka drops him on that top rope.
Oh, and Psychosis comes off. Head scissors takedown again, sends La Parka out of the ring.
And that was lovely timing then on that. Head scissors get La Parka down. He's rolled to the outside and he's safe, he thinks.
Oh, Psychosis flying over the top rope, taking out La Parka.
Oh, Psychosis is going to try a second time now, but La Parka scouted it.
Oh, he's coming out of a baseball slide, and then Psychosis kind of slid his way back into... La Parka slid his way back into the ring. Psychosis was stepping in between the top and second rope, and La Parka kicks the second rope, crutches Psychosis. Now suplexes him in the ring, but a backslide from Psychosis.
Nice back elbows by La Parka, blocking it. Dodging Psychosis' offense there.
Gets caught with the knees, though.
And then La Parka clothesline, going for the cover, but only a one. You got to think La Parka's a bit more bulky, isn't he? You don't see that kind of many heavy set cruiser, but he's definitely got some timber to him. Even like that was quite nice.
Yeah, as he sends Psychosis to the outside. Springboard moonsault there, split leg moonsault there. That's the third time we've seen one and only the second successful one.
Yeah, Saturn must be thinking, oh shit. But as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and La Parka coming down with all his body weight on Psychosis. And he's got to play with him at some points in this match. Throws him back in now.
He's not dancing as much as he was at the beginning of this match, though.
That's true. Psychosis managed to kick out.
Snap suplex there, goes into the cover. 1, 2. Oh, no, only a 2 count.
2. I think La Parka likes the fact that Psychosis keeps getting out. He's going to go, I'm going to use his chair in a minute. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wait. And then chair him. Irish whip to the corner to Psychosis.
Psychosis gets the feet up, though. La Parka runs into him. Oh, and he gets thrown into that top turnbuckle.
Psychosis lifts him up now to the top, but La Parka fights it.
Sends him to the apron on the outside and slaps him off of it.
Nice kick, and now he's can rope. Psychosis up on the apron again.
Catches La Parka's leg, crutches him on the top rope.
And now that, my friend, is going to leave a mark. Psychosis in a bit of trouble. La Parka in trouble now.
He makes his way to the top rope. Springboards over to the other side.
Sits him down.
Rana's off the top.
Going for the cover, but La Parka managing to kick out. He just had the lateral press on, didn't hook the leg.
Sends La Parka to the outside.
And now Psychosis is going to try and go to the top again. Another high risk, high reward. Fucking hell.
Corkscrew moonsault hits its mark.
I mean, that was full on when you talk about hitting the mark. I guess him and La Parka are no longer friends. Psychosis throws him in. He looked really impressive in this match. Now going to look at end it again. I have to end it again. We can't end it the first time. To the top. Oh!
He's looking for a big splash, but La Parker was out of the way. Goes for a cover on Psychosis, but pulls his head up before Charles Robinson can make the 3 count.
So they might want to hurt him, but that might be a mistake. But La Parker's got Psychosis now.
Oh, such force on that Alabama slam.
La Parker knows it. Going for the cover again. 2.
But pulls Psychosis up for a second time before Robinson gets to the 3.
And La Parker sets him up. It's a powerbomb time. Oh!
No, Psychosis rose through. Gets... Oh, no. And
2. And Parker nearly caught out then, like we saw with Jericho earlier. La Parker on the second rope. Talking out the crowd rather than looking at Psychosis. Oh!
Gets his feet drop kicked. Now he's hung up on the second rope.
Well, what's Psychosis looking for now? Going up. He likes using the guillotine leg drop. Oh!
Hits it.
Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3.
It's a victory for Psychosis.
Very nice there. And I think if you're going to class it as a filler match, I don't think too bad, you know?
Nah. Especially what it was filling.
Yeah, but what do you think of the match?
No, I thought it was a bloody really well worked match between these two. Both these wrestlers have got some great talent. You know, you can certainly see why they're around.
Yeah, and again, another good match, I feel, on the pay-per-view. I don't think pay-per-view's been quite good. I mean, there's been a couple of low spots, but a couple of moves in that match. I mean, that suicide dive over the top rope we saw of Psychosis is pretty incredible. It's the same with that corkscrew that he hit. Then the guillotine leg drop off the top. Gets a victory, and Charles Robinson get the work out here tonight.
But no, apart from the Hennig Bulldog match, I think all these other matches have actually been quite good. Even the tag team match, because of the way it went, it was, it told a good story and it was over before it done any damage, really.
Yeah, I think the same for the Bulldog Hennig match, but it was just a bit with the handcuffs before and a bit with the handcuffs after. I think went on for too long. And the commentators now telling us, because my reckoning, we've still got 3 big matches left.
And no, James, it's not a Judy Bagwell on a pole match. It is a baseball bat on a pole match.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the matches you've been really looking forward to, isn't it? You know, baseball on a pole. It's one of our favourite matches on a pole matches.
But it's a baseball bat on a pole match. But who's normally the one that comes down with a baseball bat?
Sting.
Why is Sting not in the match then?
Well, because A, it's WCW, and B, Kevin Nash break a baseball bat across the Giant's back at the last pay-per-view, so maybe they're trying to use bats like that, but I think anything on a pole match is not great. So it's going to be the Piper and Giant versus Hogan and Nash. But of course, the main story is not just about the match. It's about all the build-up leading up to it and the problems between Nash and Hogan inside the NWO. And that's kind of what everybody's focusing on. I mean, what would you be more interested in? The kind of Nash-Hogan storyline or the storyline with the 4 men at the moment?
It'd be the Nash-Hogan, the implosion. It's 2 of the original members of the NWO. And there seems to be some sort of implosion happening in NWO. Will it get sorted out? Will it come to light tonight?
Well, this is the thing. These are the questions that we asked. And let's see if they're going to get answered. Of course, we've still got the US title and the World Heavyweight title on the line. So, this pay-per-view's not doing too bad. Depends how good the next 3 are, as we look to rate it. And as we're talking, the commentator's still talking, of course, Mike Tenay, Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan. For life. So we've just seen big, sexy giant killer Kevin Nash come out here and he stared at the bat. And now it's Hogan come out here to, I think, a bigger reception than what Kevin Nash had. No Bischoff, though, and he's had problems with Kevin Nash. I mean, it's all about Hulk Hogan. That is one thing we've noticed. I'm surprised this is not the main event match scene as it has all been about Hollywood. He's out here to team up with Kevin Nash. Look at that guy dressed up a Conan. What a fucking arsehole he is. Another guy screaming, look, it's John Cena hat. Wow. Yeah, one thing I want to say, one thing I noticed is the WCW/NWO, the kind of logo like we've seen. We talked about the kind of scratch logo, WWF, WCW. But have they taken a step backwards rather than just being WCW? Igniting the NWO as part of it, especially when the angle's nearly 2 years old now. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think it's a bit like, no?
Well, I think it's good for a feature, because like you had the In Your House DX, which was just one event, not every single event. So, it's good for a feature, but not good for everything.
Yeah, well, that's what they're calling it at the moment. So it's WCW, NWO, Spring Stampede. Of course, the scores at the moment, if you're counting, Kurt Hennig beat, of course, British Bulldogs to make the NWO 1-0 up. Had a couple of matches ago, Luger and Rick Steiner winning it. So it's 1 point each. So this is the decider, unless we count Macho as part of the NWO. But we'll see what happens there. From Glasgow, Scotland, here comes the rowdy one. I mean, Rowdy Roddy Piper and the Giant, interesting team, aren't they, really?
Yes, interest is certainly a word that you could use to describe it.
Of course, the Rowdy one never really had many friends in the business, but the Giants here, and it's incredible to think 20 years ago, the Big Show, of course, was a part of this, is to getting teamed up with Rowdy Roddy Piper. That was him trying to learn it, Let's not forget again, Giants only been wrestling about 3 years, and he came in, won the world title in his first match. So he's been around big time, and it's like he's not getting paid, even though he's involved in the same matches, the same money as Nash and Hogan was, which you could argue is a good argument. But he's in this one, so let's see if he impresses here. Of course, is the youngest in this match by a country mile, and he still looks in good shape as well, doesn't he, the Giant?
He looks in very good shape, yeah. I'm not sure. He really does look funny with long hair.
No, I like the long hair though. But the thing I don't like is where he went to the NWA and he shouldn't really have been a part of that. It should have been different. I think Piper looks in quite good shape. Give credit to him. Hogan saying to Giant, "You better watch your ass. I've got no problems with Nash." Will we see problems here tonight?
Yes. My prediction is we will.
Oh, and Piper going for the back straight away. As Hogan and Nash are way up for him to get to.
I think it's either going to be Giant or the Nash is going to probably have the best chance of getting the baseball bat on said pole.
Well, I think Giant can reach the baseball bat from the ground anyway, and Hogan's up as Piper's got hold of that pole, and he's rocking back and forth in it, and both men's now hands grinding up and down this massive pole.
Easy there, Tiger.
What? Piper stuck. Get shots to the head. I don't think I've ever been impressed really by Hogan Piper technically, but still.
Oh, Hogan's got Piper in a tree of woe, kicking him in the midsection.
Hollywood having his way, and he tags in Kevin Nash, and no trouble at the moment for the NWO. Like I said, the two original members, no one knows where Scott Hall is. Of course, one half of the tag team champions. The Giant Killer here, of course, dropped the Giant on his head in January. And Piper's still trying to go there, trying to knock off the bat maybe. But it's not, if you get the bat, you're not the winner. It's the first one to get the bat, you can use it. And now look at Nash showing his strength, dragging Piper across to Hogan. Hogan the right hand. Hogan gets the tag in. Are you surprised there's not been any problems yet between Nash and Hogan?
Well, it is early days so far in this match. And, they might just stick together, beat a common enemy.
Well, don't forget, Dan, the NWO is not just for 6 months. It's not for a year. Do you know how long it's for?
For life.
For life. For life. And look at Piper fighting out the corner.
Big lefts and rights and a lovely poke to the eye. I do like the way Piper does his pokes to the eyes.
Oh, and a right hand to Nash as well.
And Giant with a headbutt to Hogan.
And Piper doesn't want to tag the Giant. He just wants to hurt Hogan.
And Piper snatching that bandana off Hogan's head, and it looks like he was plucking Hogan's chicken.
Now Piper headbutt to Hollywood.
He even rocks himself with that headbutt. It was so devastating.
Well, now you got the two Giants in the corner. And Piper Hogan struggling to get to their feet. Both looking for the tag. Can Hollywood get to Nash? No, he gets the belt off. Starts whipping Piper.
Well, he doesn't need a baseball bat. He's got his own weapon.
And he's wrapped that weapon round Piper's neck and he's choking him out. And look at Hollywood just saying to Giant, you want to tag in, you cut, beating up your mate.
The Piper just passed the belt back to Hogan to get whipped by it some more.
Well, he got whipped some more, and then Hogan going up, but uh-oh.
Piper's managed to tag the Giant in.
And he's
exposing the Hollywood ass.
Oh, no one wants to see that. That's nasty. And the Giant whipping his ass.
Hogan's got some serious tan lines. Sure, that's not the main focus in this match so far, but
the Giant in, and now he's got Hollywood.
He's got him over his knee and he's spanking him.
Nash comes in. Oh, Piper got the belt though.
Gets caught by Nash. Thumb to the eye, and whips across the back for Nash.
And Piper, the Giant, looking strong at the moment.
And Piper chasing the referee out of the ring. He's psyched up and ready to go.
Well, the crowd definitely into this. And Piper and Giant look good. Look at Hogan.
Piper's still going to whip Hogan.
But Nash not coming in to help Hollywood yet.
He's just about to Irish whip him and then clotheslines him with the belt.
I guess there's no disqualification in this one. I mean, it's a battle of the pole match down, you know?
It is indeed, yes. And the Giant's looking for a tag in. But gets caught with a low blow. Well, Piper gets caught with a low blow from Hogan. That stops him in his tracks.
And he's down, and it gives Hollywood a chance to tag in Nash.
But Nash, I was going to say Nash wasn't extending his does.
But it didn't look like he was happy doing it, though, did he? Doddy. And now Nash in.
Piper looking to crawl towards the back, but doesn't realise Nash is behind him. He does now. And Nash is saying, tagging Giant.
No. Well, Nash thinks he can beat the Giant. The Giant wants to, he said, chokeslam him from the sky. And Piper saying to the fans, is this what you want?
That was a psyched up tag to the Giant, who steps over the top rope to meet Nash face to face.
Well, Nash is smirking.
No, James, he hasn't got a cigarette in his gob. He's just got a grin on his face.
Well, here we go. Battle of the Giants. Who's going to come out on top? Well, Nash pushes Giant's face, but I think that was a mistake.
Oh, they're saying that the Giant's weighing in at 501 pounds. That's bigger than 2 cruiserweights.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible when you think about that. Now the Giant's got Nash and basically splashed him in the corner.
Oh, and a big slap across the chest.
Well, that is going to do some serious damage. Irish whip across.
Oh, towards him, but Nash with a foot up into Giant's face.
Well, don't forget, we don't know if Giant is fully recovered from the neck injury sustained. You know, it was only in January, so it's only been 3 months, even though he said he's cleared to come back. But yeah, as we've seen in the past with wrestling, you can't just get dropped on your neck and expect to get up and make a quick recovery. And now Nash backing Giant up into the corner. There's a more serious side of Nash coming out here tonight, isn't there? Rather than the kind of jokey around we see sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that type. Maybe he's serious. Maybe he thinks he is better than Giant. Just wants to send a message. Maybe show that he's a true leader of the NWO. Oh, what's that, my love? Piper and the referee say no. Come on.
And Hogan on the apron there, choking out the Giant.
And it's the NWO, but really, it's not Nash doing anything. It's Hogan taking advantage of Piper fucking around. Now Nash zoning in.
Clotheslines the Giant. And there seems to be no troubles within the NWO thus far.
No, not at all. And Nash taunting away. Uh-oh.
But the Giant's back up to his feet. Nash has only just realised.
Giant saying Nash going to take more down.
Hey! And both men delivering big boots to each other. Who's going to be the first to recover?
You know, so it's not been that bad a match, really, is it? You know,
it's not been terrible.
No, it's not been awful. No, I'm not saying I'm enjoying it, but that was all right. And now Piper and Hogan. Who's it going to be?
I'm saying you're enjoying it. You're not saying it, but I am. You're enjoying it.
All right, I'm enjoying it. And Hogan looking for the tag. So's Piper.
Both men in the wrong part of town.
We'll finally tell, but let's talk about the 500-pound weight. Giant has to move around. Piper saying, don't count him out. And the Rowdy one in, but so is Hollywood.
Both men exchanging blows in the middle of the ring.
It's like WrestleMania 1 all over again. And both men doing it. Here we go. Piper getting the better of Hogan.
Rises up a big right hand. Clocks Hogan with it.
No, Piper. Irish whipping Hollywood. Massive clothesline there. That was maybe a mistake by Piper, wasn't it? He grabbed on Hollywood, and Hollywood made him push him back. Corner. And Hollywood spits at the Giant trying to get him in. Maybe he thought Nash was going to do a number on Piper, but gave Piper a chance to recover.
Yeah, Nash didn't even assist Hogan there. 9 punches and a poke to the eye.
That is the Rowdy one. And he's got Hollywood in trouble. Kick to the face. Another clothesline, and Hollywood's in trouble. Uh-oh.
Nash in from behind, but gets caught with a low blow. Piper, wow, he's holding his own in there against these two.
Well, the Giant came in to help, but realised he didn't need to help Piper. Headbutt to Hollywood. Now the Giant aiming for Nash.
Oh, very athletic drop kick there, sending Nash to the outside. Sleeper on Hogan.
Uh-oh, now it's over. But Hollywood gets to the ropes. And Piper said, well, I don't really need that because I want the bat. And Piper going up to get it.
Giant behind him. What's he looking to do?
I think the Giant follow him up. Make sure he gets it. It would be funny if Giant just picks up Piper. Oh, Giant now all the way up.
Pushing Piper up.
Piper's got the bat.
But Nash has got the Giant.
But Piper's on his way down, but Hollywood meets him there.
Grabs the bat out of his hand, throws it to the mat. Thanks for that. Thanks.
And now both men just beating down on Piper. Oh, no. It's the Disciple with his own baseball bat. And the security's out here saying, come on now, guys. Oh, he gives it to Hollywood. But can you use the bat that's allowed? Oh, no, he's trying to hide it from the referee. Ugh.
Well, he's just hit the Giant on the back with a bat.
Well, should be able to now. Nash holding Piper with a baseball bat.
Oh, looking to hit him in the hip. Piper moved out of the way. Hogan hit Nash.
And now Piper's got the baseball bat.
Oh, shots to the gut, shot to the throat. Hogan ducked the second one. Gets hit on the...
Oh, Nash was down. Gets taken out again with a baseball bat. And Hollywood saying, no, please don't. Getting chased. And Giant is out. And now Piper's going to use it on Hollywood. And Disciple grabs the bat from Piper. Hollywood's got the baseball bat now. The original one. To the back of Piper.
2, 3.
And Hollywood gets the victory.
The referee looking to raise Nash's hand, but Nash looks a bit pissed off.
Well, Hollywood just hit him with a baseball bat. Maybe he thinks he did it on purpose. Straps coming down.
Hogan's like, look, it was an accident. I was going for Piper. I promise, I swear to God, brother.
Yeah, come on now. It's for life. And the Giant slowly getting up. Hollywood say, come on, do him. Not do him, jackknife him. I want to see the jackknife. Oh!
And Hogan hits Nash over the back as he was preparing to jackknife the Giant.
Well, the Giant up.
Raises his hands and Hogan scuppers. The Giant breaks the baseball bat over his knee.
So let's get this right. Hogan gets a victory over Rowdy Roddy Piper and then leaves Kevin Nash absolute laying down. So does that signify problems within the NWO or not?
I think that second time he hit Nash, it was another accident.
you think what? What do you think happened then?
Well, I think sweat in his eyes.
Yeah.
And he thought it was the Giant.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we're going to obviously hear from this on Nitro, but I don't think it's a bad match. I think it's let down by, again, another awful finish. You know, as soon as we saw the Disciple come out, we kind of knew it was going to end shenanigans. And,
yeah,
you know, the Giant looked all right, and it was Piper that was pinned, but still, I think disappointing. The NWO 2-1 up. But there was parts in it that were enjoyable. Dan, what do you think?
Again, it wasn't terrible. I think the storytelling was very good. You know, Nash wanting some of the Giant, them two going at it, and then, you know, I think the NWO, their cracks have finally shown and they've been exposed for what they are. And, yeah, I'd look forward to seeing the next Nitro, put it that way.
And that's what we're going to do on our next podcast as well. We'll watch 2 Nitros and 2 Raws, wrapping up April in 1998. But yeah, again, disappointing finish, but I don't think it's been a bad pay-per-view so far. We've still got 2 matches next, and up next it is the US titles. Well, I've been really looking forward to want to see how personal the rivalry is, Raven and DDP. So Diamond Dallas Page are ready to defend his US championship. He doesn't hold round his waist because Raven stole it just a couple of weeks ago, and these men have got a past and a history that's going to come out here tonight. But can Page rely on himself, or might he need some friends with the Ravens flock at ringside?
Especially in a Ravens rules match.
I mean, the flock are a very important part of who Raven is at this moment in time, aren't they? They're basically doing it with Saturn as well, how tough he is. But now it's got to be one-on-one, Raven and DDP. Can Raven back up everything he said?
I don't like Raven. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll continue saying it.
I think Raven had huge potential. I think there's a couple of guys really missed out on. Talking about characters, I think Vampiro and Raven were 2 guys in WCW that maybe could have made it in WWE if they had been used right. I think the Raven character, there's a lot of stuff like Quote the Raven, a lot of promos you could have done, a lot of things that would have been quite cool. I think we're seeing it a little bit with the flock, even though it is the same kind of idea as the NWO. And we're going to start off, and it's, oh my God! The Sick Boy grabs hold of Page, and Raven's going to clock him with a belt.
Page ducks out of the way, Raven clocks Sick Boy, and then just goes to work on Raven.
No, I don't think there's going to be time for talk. They want to be fighting, and you talk about Raven dressed for it. You know, DDP's got the jeans on looking for a fight. And he calls the People's Champion. Whip to Raven in the corner.
Sternum first. Oh, high back body drop.
Crowd definitely love Page. Page wait for Raven to get up, and then he just forearms him out the ring. There's that Sick Boy again grabbing Raven. Oh!
Raven leapfrogs over the top rope. Takes out both Sick Boy and Raven.
You don't see DDP flying through the air that often. He did there. Oh!
Sends Sick Boy into barricade.
Oh. Goes up in the apron, but Raven takes him down. And then Raven again with a big knee to Page.
Page goes down low. Raven goes down low on Page. Oh, short arm clothesline takes DDP down.
You know, Raven might be going for the even flow.
No, Page sends him back first into the turnbuckle.
Now Page, oh, nice swing.
Yeah, lovely swinging net breaker. Goes for the cover. But Raven managing to kick out.
Page now going for the diamond cut, but Raven dodging that. So both men avoided the other's finishes. Raven saying, right, I've had enough now. I'm going home.
That annoys me because he actually wants to go for the US title. Why is he not trying to go in this match and stay in this match?
Maybe he's goading Page into an area more suited to Raven. Maybe he's got more of a flock waiting for him round here. Maybe it's sabotage. But I think you're right. Maybe Raven just doesn't want to fight, Dan. Maybe. Oh!
Ref got taken out. No wonder why he's dead.
Well, Raven on the top of that stagecoach gets pushed off by DDP. Now Page on top.
Oh dear.
And that must have been about 15 or 20 feet off the top rail to Raven.
You're right, James. It did look about 25, 30 feet up in the air. Shoulder to Raven.
Well, Raven's flock match. So Raven's rules match. So anything happens. And hey, what's it matter? Oh!
Well, Raven dipped into the wooden fence setup they've got on the entranceway.
Yeah, we spoke about the set, didn't we? And how it was set up in a bar. They've already used a stagecoach and they've just gone through the fencing. I think that was an actual trash can to the face of Raven.
Raven's rules match. Anything goes.
Oh, look, the WCWWrestling.com boys are there. They're going to be trouble in a minute. Oh!
And he get another fence, and DDP's all fired up for this one.
Well, you got to avoid those wagon wheels.
Yeah.
And that looks like quite sturdy fence in there. And Page has got Raven now. What's he going to do? Suplex him?
On the website table.
Well, you wanted to fight Page. Huge DDP chant. Oh!
Oh, but Raven pushes DDP off into the kind of setting.
Yeah, into the kind of backdrop WCWRest.com thing is completely demolished now. Maybe there's a problem. What's that they said earlier? Oh! Well, whatever.
Plastic tray there, I think, shattered over DDP's head.
Well, something could have gone in his eye. And Raven has finally got Paige down.
Looked to place DDP on a table, but the table gave away straight away. I think he's going to go for a second one. Go on a bit more gently this time,
Yeah, go
DDP.
on. More. There we go. Raven's like go up at the same time. So where's he going now? Onto the stand with the fans. Oh!
And that table didn't give away.
Damn it. Paige rolls off low into the fencing. And Paige has been injured for, what, a year and a half now with those ribs. So he's in serious trouble. And what's... Oh, no. Oh, I thought he was going to use...
Just going to whip him with a kettlebell. We've seen everything but the kitchen sink, James.
Yeah, well, here comes another trash... Here comes a trash can. And Paige staggering to his feet. Right to the back. That's where Raven's going to stab you. Right in the back. And he's more cowbell. Well, Dan, this is no ball. As we see here, DDP getting the shit kicked out of him recently.
He is indeed, yes. It has been all Raven for the last 5 minutes.
And now Raven dragging Paige down to the ring.
And he's choking him as he's dragging him down there. Oh, there's a kitchen sink.
Oh, there you go. Had the kitchen sink. And now Raven's got the kitchen sink. So, Dan, you've seen everything.
Including the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Oh, right to the back. And the tap went flying.
Well, that certainly wasn't a tap to the back of Paige. Well, it was, but it wasn't.
Well, somehow Paige managing to kick out.
Ah.
And now Raven going back to choking.
Is that wise from Paige, or is that just a bit of stupidity now?
I think Paige is delaying the inevitable, you know. I think Raven's been on top now. Paige, I know he's got a lot of fight, but, you know, live to fight another day. The hand now dropping once, twice.
But not 3 times, a lady.
Paige now fighting for his life, trying to get up.
Oh, Paige must have his second wind. He's fighting for his US title.
Drop toe hold. Raven goes right into the kitchen sink. That's not a fucking Chinese man coming to the ring. Paige now going to go for the cover. And look at Kidman off the top.
Oh, DDP saw him coming. Clocks in with a big right hand, sends him out the ring. Goes for another cover.
Oh.
But Raven managing to kick out.
It has not been Billy Kidman's night. It really hasn't.
It hasn't, no. He should stop getting involved in matches.
And now Sick Boy up. Oh.
Crutch to the back of DDP. Raven with a cover. 1, 2. Oh. Still managing.
Paige showing his toughness. And now Raven, thinking this is over, is going to try and suplex Paige.
Paige blocking it. Small package.
1, 2. Oh. Raven somehow get the shoulder up at 2.
2.
And then straight back on the attack. Now with a stomp. Now saying to the crowd, I'm saying to Van Hammer, get up. And now he is off the top rope.
Oh, but again, Paige ducking out of the way. Van Hammer hitting Raven. And then the kitchen sink hitting Van Hammer.
Well, it serves him right, that fucking idiot. Paige going for the cover. 1, 2. Oh.
But Raven managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2. And the commentator's trying to tell us that Raven enjoys this punishment. No, he doesn't. Oh, my word.
And DDP certainly wouldn't enjoy that. A thunderous low blow from Raven.
And now Raven calling up the flock. Why? Look at the damage they've already done. Here comes the big man, Reese. And now Reese got Paige up. Slams him down.
1, 2. But Paige still managing to kick out.
And now Reese, like any sensible man would do, just goes out the ring.
Someone else come in.
My Raven saying to Lodi, give me the sign. Stop. Yeah, you're right. Oh,
wow. DDP pushes it into Raven's head. Hits big Reese on the head with it. It's Van Hammer with it.
Sick Boy's got the stop sign. Gets punched
hit
into
by
him.
Paige. Billy Kidman in again on the back of DDP.
Oh,
what a beautiful diamond cutter there. Who's that? Is that a fan?
There's a man with a stop sign ahead. Even flow.
DDT.
1, 2, 3. That's Horace Hogan. I promise you that's Horace Hogan. I promise you, Dan.
But I thought Horace Hogan had long hair.
No,
and a
he
beard.
got it wrong.
And looked a bit like a crush. A bit like a...
Barber.
Oh, look, people are spitting at him.
That's lovely. Well, we have a new United States champion in Raven. He wins it with the even flow, but what a brutal brawl that was. That was great. I really, really enjoyed that.
I thought that was a lot better than the match before it. No, I thought this match is certainly been one of the better ones on the card.
Yeah, I don't think it's over between these two men here. I mean, we see replay. I mean, have you ever seen a diamond cut like that before, Dan, eh?
That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, even Randy Orton's not hit one like that yet.
Randy Orton's hit better ones.
No, well, there we go. It doesn't matter, because Paige, you know, sharp. And Raven hit the even flow DDT, winning the US title. It's a prestigious championship. Talk about legends that won that. Harley Race, Steve Austin, and et al. Like that. Raven now becomes US champion. Fortunately for him, up next he's got to face Goldberg on Nitro tomorrow night. So we'll see how that goes for Raven. But hey, he might be lucky. But even flow DDT on Paige, and Raven gets a victory over Paige. Paige is a big star. I think it's good for Raven. I think it was a really, really good match. So now all that's left for us to say is, well, it's the main event time, isn't it?
Bring out Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer. So here we go. It is Michael Buffer doing the in-ring entrances. Do you think it adds something to it?
No. Because they use it every week on fucking Nitro. Every fucking pay-per-view. It's pointless.
Yep.
Use it for the main event of a WrestleMania, and that is it.
Yeah. Oh, of course, Royal Rumble. So here comes Macho Man with Liz. And considering he took the cast off early, he's got knee ligament damage. Doesn't look too bad, does he, considering what the state saw on Nitro a couple of weeks ago?
No, he looks in rather good shape, to be fair.
Here comes Macho Madness. Can he?
Can he do it?
Will he?
Will he?
Beat Sting here tonight. You mark my TARDIS. Tonight, Macho's going to give it his all to beat Sting. Let's get serious now. Macho is in the ring with Liz, ready for action. Sting comes out with massive fireworks. He has found the WWE World Heavyweight title, which is great news for all of us. But he's still not wearing it around his waist.
And he's still not got a nameplate on it either.
No, just holding it. Just, you know. And here comes Sting, man of little words. Defended it against Nash on Nitro last week, but you could say really not without the upset with Bret Hart getting involved. And Macho started the attack early. Well, Sting was going to get his coat.
Well, Sting didn't even have a chance to jack it off before Macho Man was straight on the case.
And Macho takes Sting to the outside and sends him into barricade. It is Macho Madness. Bobby Heenan thinks he's the most dangerous man in WCW in the wrestling world. Dan, do you agree?
No.
And Macho's got Sting. Macho's got Sting back of the head.
Says him face first into the turnbuckle. Now Macho Man, the baddest man on the planet.
Sting working on the arm of Macho.
Macho certainly has some madness issues. Do you reckon he's got Kurt Hennig's right knee brace? Because that looks exactly the same as his.
Gone to the same shop. Oh, Sting sends down Macho.
Or the same props box.
Sting throws Macho over the top.
And he's got a Buff's arm bandage as well. I mean, the NWO do love sharing things, Miss Elizabeth.
And Sting sends Macho into the barricade. This is WWE title on the line, Dan. This is serious stuff here. I don't want to hear about Miss Elizabeth knickers.
And he's borrowed Hogan's weightlifting belt.
That's madness.
No, it's Hogan's.
And Sting goes into the ring. Of course, everybody's very emotional. Now Macho's going to take a break.
He's walking away, but we know exactly what happened to Raven when he tried walking away. He won the match.
He did, so maybe this is going to be the same here. Here comes Sting. Oh, Macho grabs a wagon wheel. Oh!
Gets Irish whipped into the fence.
Don't forget, Dan, this is a no DQ match, so anything goes. Oh!
And he gets thrown over it. He landed on a wagon wheel.
Well, if he's already injured, he's going to be injured every what? Well, if he's already injured. Macho's already injured. He's going to be injured even more after landing on that wagon wheel. And now he's being choked by Macho.
Oh, and then he gets Irish whipped to the...
There's not any pyro at the moment. Both men will go up. And now Sting's got Macho. Hello. He's going to send Macho into the fence. Oh, my God.
Oh, throat first across that wooden fence.
Oh, have you ever had wood in your throat, Dan? It hurts.
I'll take your word for it, Jimbo.
And now
Sting picking up a hay bale.
he's trying to find a needle in it.
Oh, ends up getting more hay over his head. That can be very abrasive, hay can, James.
It can be. It can rub you the wrong way. And maybe Sting put it on as a bit of kind of undercover work. Trying to hide his face. Camouflage.
A bit of undercover work.
Yeah. Camouflage. He's put it on as... But now we can see it looks like a scarecrow. Scarecrow, get it? Because he's a crow and he's covered in hay.
Hey!
I liked it.
That wasn't funny.
No, I liked it. Macho into the barricade.
Sting working away over Macho. Oh, looks like he's going to go for a Stinger splash. Oh! Macho moves out of the way. Sting throat first into barricade.
And now Macho's got Sting. Throws him into the ring post. I just said that, Tony. And now Macho throws Sting in. Goes for the cover. 1, 2.
Oh, he had his feet on the middle rope.
Proper heel.
No, it was actually his instep, not his heel.
And now Macho with a punches to Sting. Fans can't believe what they've seen here tonight. Not sure who to cheer. They want Sting, I think, to win. But like I said, Macho crazy.
Madness.
And he clotheslines Sting down, but Sting getting shoulder up at 2.
2.
And now Macho maybe looking for the pole driver.
Sting with a backdrop.
And now Sting.
Oh, looking to drop the elbow, but Savage moves out the way.
And Macho just trying to wear Sting down now. Not been a lot of wrestling.
Certainly hasn't, but it's been a punishing match for these two guys. But Sting blocking Savage's punch, throws him out of the ring, and pursues him quickly.
And now Sting's got hold of Macho's head.
He does. He has hold of him by his hair follicles.
He does, and he's going to suplex him on them wafer thin mats.
And James, just how thin are them mats?
Oh my God, they are, you know, like a sheet of paper.
I hope he's sharing.
It's a sheet of paper. They're even thinner than that. It's you know, the ball. Even they wouldn't be able.
James.
What?
Just say wafer thin or mere millimetres
Sorry,
thick.
I
You don't have to
learn it.
Elaborate too much on it.
It's like tracing paper.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
The tracing paper is actually thicker than normal paper.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. That's why you do that bit and I do this bit. Macho now getting up, looking at the fans and going,
"Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit a tree."
Macho is in trouble. Sting, just let him get counted out. If the count out works, even though it's no disqualification. And Liz helping Macho get in the ring. Get me in the ring.
Only if you get me in the ring later, baby.
Is that what Liz said?
Oh yeah. That's what you don't talk much.
Yeah, she's got a different voice than you expect when you speak to her. And Sting now choking out Macho. And the commentator's still talking up the NWO power struggle.
I see none.
You see that? You see? Oh yeah, you think it's accidental Hogan hitting Nash, do you? And if Macho wins, then he claims he could be the leader of the NWO. And that was a low blow, blatant by Macho.
No DQ, so it doesn't matter.
Ooh, I'm gonna get him. Get him, Macho.
I'm going to hit him in the nuts like I'm going to hit that tree. Dig it.
Oh, no, I was doing Liz. Get him, Macho. Do you want some eggs with that? Sting down, Macho off the top for the elbow. No!
Oh, no. Sting quickly recovering to his feet, taking out Macho as he's jumping off the top rope.
Quite incredible there by Sting to recover. Now he's backed up Macho in the corner.
Oh.
Stinger splash. Oh.
Sting stops himself short of hitting Charles Robinson, but Macho Man hits him into Robbo anyway.
Well, Macho now's got Sting pile driver time.
Folds up the Stinger.
Well, Sting getting to his feet already though. Savage don't realise the impact.
Oh, now he does.
Oh, and Sting flexing himself, and Liz is in. I'm gonna hit you with a chair.
Sting with... I didn't mean to do that, Sting.
She hits Sting with a chair. Macho blocks a punch. No! Oh!
Liz gets Stinger splashed. You right, girl? You right, girl? Bang!
Oh!
Sting gets chair smashed.
Chair smashed to the back of the head.
And why did Charles Robinson need to get knocked out? I mean, it's anything goes match anyway, so...
It is.
It wouldn't have counted.
And now there's another referee coming down, and Macho going to come off
Hogan.
the top. Oh, no!
Grabs hold of Savage's leg, throws him off the top.
And Hogan's cost Nash, and now he's just cost Macho. And what the hell is this about? It is a Hogan show. Liz getting taken away.
Well, Hulk Hogan, the gift that keeps on giving. Even if he's not meant to, he just gives.
But Macho up before Sting anyway. And now suplex to Sting.
No, Sting blocks it. Scorpion death drop.
And Sting's hit it.
The referee's still out.
Well, Sting goes for the cover.
1, 2. Nash is in the ring.
And now Big Sexy in. And he clocks Sting from behind.
So he's just undoing all of Hogan's hard work.
Yep, so Hogan come out here. Doesn't matter, he's gone. And now Nash got Sting.
Jackknife powerbomb Sting.
Well, that's going to be a fine there. Well, he might have been allowed on Monday, but surely he's not allowed tonight.
Don't call me Shirley, but the ref don't see it, so it don't matter anyway. 1, 2, 3. And Savage is your new heavyweight champion of the world.
My God, so Macho Man, the man who was stretchered, out by the ambulance last time round, is 2 weeks later recovered, and he is WCW champion thanks to Nash. And well, it's NWO for life. So, my God, what an awful finish to that match. But we got a new champion. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yes, the match was actually going quite well until Charles Robinson got knocked and he didn't get back up again. And again, it's an NWO decided finish as Nash is kicking Charles Robinson in the head, trying to make him stir.
And now lots of stuff get thrown in.
And Charles Robinson is a new World Heavyweight Champion.
And he wants referee to award the title to Macho. Yeah, not bad, bro, is it? I mean, it's a bit weird after we saw the United States title match to have this match here and the kind of what it brought. It's kind of the same thing. Wasn't a lot of wrestling involved, but towards the end it was getting quite good. The ref bump, like you said, Charles Robinson getting involved and the Liz thing. It's a bit over the top. And if Hogan came out here to stop him, why wouldn't he stay out to make sure the job was finished? Why would he just go? Or if Nash could scare him away or something like that, that would probably make more sense rather than what we saw.
Well, I would have thought that they would have crossed paths.
Yeah.
On the way, because Hogan was on his way back as Nash came out.
Well, Hogan's out here and he said it happened. He's come out here with the Disciple. And Hogan says Nash has got hell to pay. So, very interesting end there to the pay-per-view. Macho's champion. And Sting kind of looked like a fucking idiot in that one. Alright, let's run through the card then before we finish it on this episode. Don't forget we're back. Next episode, WNR155 Part 3, we'll have 2 Nitros, a full outbeat, and of course 2 Raws, and we'll look at Unforgiven as well, 1998. But this match, so we go back to match 1, and it was Goldberg versus Saturn to kick us off. Dan, what's your thoughts and ratings on the match?
I thought this match was really well. It was a really good start off. We thought Saturn was going to be a bit of a, well, not much of a challenge for Goldberg, but, a bit more of a challenge than most of the jobbers he's been running through of late. Goldberg very impressed me with his variety and range of moves that he had. I'm going to give that a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I give that 3.5 out of 5 as well. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great way to start a pay-per-view. Match 2, Chavo versus Dragon. Very technical, wasn't it? Like we saw, Eddie Guerrero at ringside kind of made that match, looking on and trying to tell Chavo what to do. Dragon, of course, pulled the victory out with Dragon sleeper. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 as well. I gave the second one 3.5 out of 5, like I did the first match. Dan?
Again, it was a good storytelling. I liked Eddie Guerrero's part in it as well. I gave that a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Match 3, Benoit versus Booker T.
Again, this match has told a great story. These two guys have been going back and forth quite a bit. They've had 2 time limit draws. And the way this one ended, I don't know, it was kind of like Benoit in kind of came undone, but again, the quality of the match, I gave that one a 4.
Yeah, well, I gave that 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, just towards the end, I didn't really like the ref bump. I would like it done a little bit cleaner, but then again, the story's going to continue, so that was good. And great in-ring competitors. Match 4 let it down big time. Henry versus Bulldog, waste of time. But they all look pretty awful in this one, really. I just think it's just because they get paid so much they had to get featured. I gave that a 2 out of 5.
Again, it was just terrible. It was like an old WWF match. I gave that a 1.5 out of 5.
Wow. Match 5, Prince Iake versus Chris Jericho. Cruiserweight title.
I thoroughly enjoyed this match. It was a good bit of back and forth, told a good story. Jericho, I'm absolutely loving him, and if WCW let him go anytime soon, they're going to be complete idiots.
Yep.
They're going to be stupid idiots. Prince Iake, Wasn't that impressed by him, but still the match in a whole, I gave that a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave that a 3 out of 5. I thought it was very good. The end did need a little bit of work, but apart from that, it was all right. Match 6, Scott and Buff versus Luger and Rick. A lot better than I thought it was going to be, actually. See Scott Steiner acting like a bit of a fool, and the chicken run away from his brother Rick. He don't want none. And Luger looked quite good in that one. When you sparingly, Luger don't look too bad, with the torch rack and stuff. I gave that a 2.5 out of 5.
Again, yeah, it was more of a storied match, and it's good to see when good prevail.
Yeah.
For a little while as well, and I gave that a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Match 7, Psychosis versus the Parker.
This match, it was just thrown in there, and again, it was a good match between the two high flying guys, very similar personalities. It fitted in there really well. I think that should have actually been in between the two main event style matches, personally, because it kind of broke them up. And I gave that a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave that 3 out of 5 as well. Match 8, Hogan with Nash versus Piper and Giant. Bat match. Now, again, I was really enjoying moments in this. I thought it looked really good. I thought Giant looked quite cool, and even Piper and Hogan were satisfactory. Then the ending happened, and I just thought, for fuck, why do they do it every single time? So I gave that a 3 out of 5, and I just put awful finish.
Again, I'm not the biggest fan of honour pole matches. I did enjoy moments of it, as you say, but again, the ending was terrible. It's almost predictable that if NWO are in a match, it's going to be a foofy, fluffy finish, and it prevailed, and I gave that a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Really, because it weren't too bad because it was a bat match. But match 9, Raven versus DDP. Raven's rules, United States title.
I think this match should have happened a bit earlier on the card with what happened in the last match, the no disqualification match for the heavyweight title. I thought that was quite a thoroughly enjoyable match. I was getting into it, they had a few bigger bumps. It was like a hardcore match.
Yeah.
I know it's Raven's rules, but it was thoroughly about 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave that a 4 out of 5. I thought that was my match of the night on this one here. I thought it was really, really good. Well done. I think Raven looked strong in it. DDP looked strong. I even liked the Flock getting involved and stuff like that. And I thought it was a really good story. Match 10, Sting versus Macho. Now, again, to have that... Right, so, yeah, Sting versus Macho. Again, not really much of a match. And it kind of turned into like the Hogan, NWO, Nash storyline more than a pay-per-view match. If you're going to have a pay-per-view match, then you've got to have an end goal. We've seen it countless times now in pay-per-view matches to WCW. It was all screwy finishes in main event matches are leading to the next show, and that's not how it works. You see the WF way of doing it. When it comes to WrestleMania, you have your serious finishes, pay-per-views end stuff, then you continue feuds there. This kind of Macho is a new champion, but that was taken away through what Hogan did with Nash and now their problems together and what happens next, So I think that was a bit of a shame. I gave that a 3 out of 5. Dan?
Yeah, again, it was a really annoying finish. If Nash was going to come in and get involved, what was the point in Hogan getting involved in the first place?
Exactly.
And I also gave that a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, does it? Disappointed. But final thoughts, I thought rating out of 10. Dan, would you rate that out of 10?
I've given that a 6.5 out of 10. I think that was probably one of the worst pay-per-views I've seen in a while.
I disagree with you. I still give it a 7 out of 10, but I still think it was a good pay-per-view overall. We had Goldberg Saturn that delivered. That was a 3.5, 5. That was a good ranked match. So was Chavo's match. So was Benoit's match. So was the Jericho match. So was Raven DDP. So it had like 6-7 matches that were good.
Let me redeem myself. It was a terrible pay-per-view in the parts where NWO was involved.
Yes, all right, that's fair enough.
Before you cut me off rudely.
No, don't call me rudely. Yes, it was NWO parts were bad, but the rest of the card was good. So your match of the night was Benoit versus Booker. My match of the night was Raven versus DDP. I gave it a 7, Dan 6.5. So our next pay-per-view will be in May, WWE versus WCW, and we'll be looking at WWF's Over the Edge in 1998, which is great. But like I say, we're back on part 3 with WNR155. We'll be looking at 2 Nitros and 2 Raws. But until then, that is it. Anything else, Dan?
Chris Benoit's innocent.
Before we go, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
At Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rowlands. We're also forms, WWE Network Review on Google+. Send us an email, www.podcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network. Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network Review, or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review Podcast. Clips going up there. Podcasts go at the same time to do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
Speaking of SoundCloud, don't forget you can subscribe to Diddley, our WNR music, the WNR Podcast Music Maker. We're also on Speaker Radio. We've got a live show coming in June, and Stitcher Radio and iTunes where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. Like I say, we'll be back for part 3 tomorrow. But until then, I've been James Rowlands, and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.